Chapter 1820. Why is it like this? Mo Qingyun revealed a puzzled expression, and he immediately pondered in his heart as he said to himself, could it be that only a small portion of these flaming birds contained true blood? When this thought arose in his heart, Mo Qingyun stopped thinking about it and prepared to kill a flaming bird to take a look. In next to no time, Mo Qingyun arrived near a flaming bird and attracted its attention. This flaming bird's strength wasn't weak, and it was similarly at the third level of the nine heavens' profound immortal realm. The flaming bird's perception was extremely sharp, and Mo Qingyun had just approached it when he was discovered by it. Screech! When it noticed Mo Qingyun's approach, the flaming bird cried out furiously and pounced towards Mo Qingyun. The corners of Mo Qingyun's mouth curled up slightly when he saw the flaming bird attacking him, and his figure immediately retreated backwards. Since the flaming bird took the initiative to approach, it was much easier to deal with it, and he could use the same trick to kill it. Just like the flaming bird before him, the more Mo Qingyun retreated, the more ferocious the flaming bird's pursuit became. In next to no time, Mo Qingyun and the flaming bird arrived at a spacious area. Rise! After arriving at a spacious area, Mo Qingyun stopped retreating and immediately withdrew 8 ancient swords. The 8 ancient swords appeared beside Mo Qingyun and formed a fierce sword formation that blasted towards the flaming bird. The flaming bird obviously didn't expect that Mo Qingyun would suddenly counterattack and counterattack. Clang! 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 Numerous sounds of sharp lights leaving their sheaths sounded out from the 8 ancient swords. The 8 ancient swords once again formed a sword formation and forcefully trapped the flaming bird that was caught off guard. After trapping the flaming bird in the sword formation, Mo Qingyun didn't hesitate in the slightest and immediately controlled the sword formation to attack the flaming bird. Under Mo Qingyun's control, the ancient swords produced a black sword light that sealed off the flaming bird's escape route. Swoosh! Swoosh! After sealing off the path of the flaming bird, Gu Jin's attack did not stop as it continued to bombard the flaming bird. Facing the pincer attack of the 8 ancient swords, the flaming bird was in great danger. It could be killed by the ancient swords at any time. Looking at the flaming birds hiding in the sword formation, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly, and a gray light flashed in his left eye. A hidden beam of soul light shot out of Mo Qingyun's left eye and entered the flaming bird's sea of consciousness. The flaming bird let out a miserable shriek as it was bombarded by the soul light, and its consciousness became chaotic. The flaming bird's consciousness became chaotic, and it forgot to dodge. It was immediately turned into a sieve by the ancient sword. Seeing the flaming bird's body being destroyed, Mo Qingyun's expression tensed up. His mood became tense as well. I wonder if the true blood of the heavenly Peng exists in this flaming bird's body? Under Mo Qingyun's nervous gaze, a drop of blood that emitted a terrifying amount of heat entered his line of sight. The true blood of the heavenly Peng. Seeing the true blood of the heavenly Peng before him, Mo Qingyun's face lit up. He was extremely excited. It seemed that his guess was right. Although not every flaming bird had the true blood of the heavenly Peng, it was still good news. Collect! With the previous lesson, Mo Qingyun prepared to collect the true blood of the heavenly Peng as soon as he saw it. Mo Qingyun raised his hand and made a grabbing motion. A powerful Xianqing spiritual force erupted from his palm. Soon, the Xianqing spiritual power turned into a palm shadow and grasped the true blood of the heavenly Peng in his hand. After capturing the true blood of the heavenly Peng, Mo Qingyun took out a small jade bottle and stored the true blood of the heavenly Peng. Lad, stop! At this moment, when Mo Qingyun was collecting the true blood of the heavenly Peng, a red figure approached him rapidly. Soon, this person entered the sea of flames and arrived in front of Mo Qingyun. He's not afraid of being eroded by the power of the flames. Seeing this person's performance, Mo Qingyun was shocked. He was surprised by the other party's ability. Based on his understanding of the sea of flames, without a body comparable to a quasi-sacred weapon, it was impossible to resist the erosion of the power of the flames. The person in front of him had a body comparable to a quasi-sacred weapon. Even a supreme immortal weapon could not compare to it. This made the situation a little strange. How did he resist the sea of flames? After carefully sizing up the person in front of him, Mo Qingyun knew the reason. He understood why the other party was not afraid of the power of the flames. The red feather cloak that the young man was wearing could resist the erosion of the power of the sea of flames. Not only that, but the red feather cloak could also absorb the power of the sea of flames. Looking at the red feather cloak's performance, it seemed to be using the sea of flames to recover its power bit by bit. What a powerful, sacred aura. It seems that his red feather cloak is a powerful, sacred weapon. Realizing that the red feather cloak was not simple, Mo Qingyun's eyes lit up. He was a little tempted by the cloak. Judging from the power of the cloak, if it was in his hands, he would be completely immune to the sea of flames. Quick, look, the divine flame tribe is here. Looking at their posture, it seems that they're going to collect the blood of the Phoenix Blood Sky Rock again. Are you kidding? The Phoenix Blood Sky Rock's true blood is as precious as a life-changing elixir to the divine flame tribe. How can they sit by and do nothing? All right, I saw a person enter the sea of flames just now. That person seems to be the #1 genius of the divine flame tribe, Hao Shangyong. Did you notice? The red feather cloak that Hao Shangyong is wearing seems to be the Phoenix Feather Cloak, the most precious treasure of the divine flame tribe. Hao Shangyong even brought the Phoenix Feather Cloak. It seems that he is serious this time. He is going to kill all the flaming birds. At this moment, everyone had different feelings. They were in awe of the divine flame tribe. After briefly sizing up Hao Shangyong, Mo Qingyun ignored him and kept the Phoenix Blood Sky Rock's true blood. He came here for the Phoenix Blood Sky Rock's true blood. How could he give it to someone else? Brat, you dare to take the thing that I have my eyes on? Seeing Mo Qingyun's action, Hao Shangyong's face turned cold. He glared at Mo Qingyun. After saying those words, Hao Shangyong was not in a hurry to make a move. He said in a cold tone, I have no interest in making a move against a junior at the Firefly stage. As long as you hand over the Phoenix Blood Sky Rock's true blood, I can let you leave safely. Hearing Hao Shangyong's words, Mo Qingyun immediately snorted. He was full of disdain for Hao Shangyong. Who does he think he is? Why is it that others can't touch the things that he has his eyes on? Mo Qingyun glanced at Hao Shangyong from the foot of the mountain with a mocking gaze and said, The cloak behind you is not bad. As long as you give it to me, I will let you leave this sea of flames alive. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Hao Shangyong couldn't help but be stunned. He didn't think that Mo Qingyun would dare to talk to him like that. Chapter 1821. You refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. Hao Shangyong's face turned cold as a terrifying flame energy quickly gathered around him. The flame energy gathered like a fire dragon and circled around Hao Shangyong's body. After gathering the flame energy, Hao Shangyong did not hesitate and immediately attacked Mo Qingyun. In his opinion, Mo Qingyun's current action had touched his bottom line. It was fine if he did not hand over the Phoenix Blood Celestial Rock's true blood, but he actually coveted his Phoenix Feather Cloak. This was absolutely unforgivable. The Phoenix Feather Cloak was the sacred weapon of the Divine Flame Tribe and represented the glory of the Divine Flame Tribe. How could Mo Qingyun covet it so much? Golden Crow burns the sky. Hao Shangyong raised his arms and gathered the flame above his head, allowing it to condense into the shape of a golden crow. Soon, a three-legged golden crow appeared in the sky above Hao Shangyong. Kid, my golden crow burns the sky is a forbidden technique of my tribe. It's your honor to be killed by this technique. After using a powerful divine ability, Hao Shangyong sneered proudly and raised his hand to attack Mo Qingyun. As Hao Shangyong waved his arms, the three-legged golden crow above his head immediately flew towards Mo Qingyun. Slash! Faced with Hao Shangyong's attack, Mo Qingyun did not dare to hesitate at all and immediately used the sword formation to counterattack. Under Mo Qingyun's control, 8 ancient swords quickly formed a sword formation and attacked the three-legged golden crow. As soon as the 8 ancient swords approached the three-legged golden crow, they trapped it and attacked it frantically. Although the three-legged golden crow's aura was strong, its strength was far inferior to the flaming bird. In the blink of an eye, it was blasted into dust by the sword formation. It's broken? So easily? Seeing the forbidden art he executed being easily dealt with by Mo Qingyun, Hao Shangyong's eyes immediately went wide, and he said in shock, "This? How is this possible? Once the golden crow burns the heavens fails, the three-legged golden crow will even attack the caster. How could it be so easily resolved?" Hao Shangyong once had the experience of failing to use the golden crow, flaming heavens. He was counterattacked by the three-legged golden crow. Therefore, he was extremely clear about the might and lethality of the golden crow, flaming heavens. However, such a powerful forbidden technique was ineffective in front of Mo Qingyun. This change was too sudden for him, and he was not prepared for it at all. So this is the so-called forbidden technique? It doesn't seem to be that powerful. After nullifying Hao Shangyong's attack, Mo Qingyun smiled indifferently and mocked him. He continued, "No wonder this technique is forbidden. It turns out that it's just too weak. It's so weak that it's difficult for your clansmen to cultivate it." You. After being ridiculed by Mo Qingyun like this, Hao Shangyong's face immediately flushed red, and he felt extremely embarrassed. Then, he looked at Mo Qingyun with an increasingly cold gaze. Mo Qingyun ignored Hao Shangyong's anger and sneered disdainfully. "It's a technique that even your people rarely cultivate, and you actually treat it as a treasure. You even want to use it to scare me. I really admire your intelligence. Kid, you're courting death." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Hao Shangyong immediately flew into a rage and pounced at Mo Qingyun. As Hao Shangyong's body flew forward, a terrifying heat wave gathered on his fists. 2 balls of surging heat waves rolled up from Hao Shangyong's fists, turning into 2 lion-headed fists. "Break from me!" Facing Hao Shangyong's fist attack, Mo Qingyun was not afraid at all. Instead of retreating, he charged forward. In terms of attack power, Hao Shangyong was far inferior to Tang Chun and was only slightly stronger than Xie Ran. In terms of control over the power of fire, he was also inferior to the flaming bird. What right did he have to be arrogant in front of Mo Qingyun? As for the cultivation of the physical body, it was even more incomparable. He could not be compared to Mo Qingyun at all. Mo Qingyun blasted out a palm, and a terrifying black mist of profound, clear spiritual energy quickly gathered on his palm. The black, profound, clear spiritual energy gathered and immediately enveloped half of Mo Qingyun's body, transforming into a huge demon god shadow. Demon god shadow. Seeing the demon god shadow on Mo Qingyun, Hao Shangyong's expression immediately trembled. He finally felt fear towards Mo Qingyun. Such a terrifying demonic aura was enough to prove that Mo Qingyun's background was extraordinary. Today, he offended Mo Qingyun, and it might be a huge mistake. However, he could not come to a conclusion about Mo Qingyun's specific identity. He needed to investigate carefully in the future. Bang bang. When Hao Shangyong's face was filled with fear, the black palm blasted the flaming fist radiance and split it into 2. The black palm blasted the flaming fist radiance and blasted towards Hao Shangyong, as if it was going to cut Hao Shangyong in half. Crimson Divine Flame Shield. Facing the attack of the black palm, Hao Shangyong did not dare to hesitate and immediately took out shield. When this shield was taken out, it exuded a powerful saint aura. It seemed to be another powerful saint weapon. From the looks of it, Hao Shangyong had come prepared when he came to the Flame Spirit Valley. Bang! The black palm blasted on the Crimson Divine Flame Shield and immediately exploded with a loud bang, creating a terrifying wave of flames. When the wave of flames appeared, Hao Shangyong was constantly pushed back, and a surge of qi and blood surged in his body. How? How can this be? He's only in a firefly stage. How can he be so strong? After a few exchanges with Mo Qingyun, Hao Shangyong found that he was completely crushed, and he was immediately hit hard. If he had not experienced it himself, he would not have believed it even if he was beaten to death. No, this guy is too strong. I'm no match for him. After a few exchanges with Mo Qingyun, Hao Shangyong realized the result and did not want to fight with Mo Qingyun anymore. Immediately, Hao Shangyong no longer hesitated and immediately turned around to escape. Seeing that Hao Shangyong was about to leave, Mo Qingyun smiled slightly and chased after Hao Shangyong, saying, "Why are you in such a hurry to leave? Haven't you lent me your cloak to wear?" As Mo Qingyun spoke, he came to Hao Shangyong's side and raised his hand to grab Hao Shangyong. Mo Qingyun stretched out his palm and immediately blasted out a surge of Xian Qing's spiritual energy, which turned into a huge palm. After the palm was formed, it grabbed at Hao Shangyong's neck, trying to capture Hao Shangyong. Bang! Just as the palm touched Hao Shangyong's neck, a terrifying flame power overbearingly shattered the palm. Seeing such a scene, Mo Qingyun's expression was shocked, and he understood what was going on. It seemed that on Hao Shangyong's body, there was the consciousness of the Divine Flame Clan's expert, which was protecting Hao Shangyong's safety at all times. It seemed that it was absolutely impossible for him to touch Hao Shangyong. This guy is really loved and cared for in his clan. Recalling Hao Shangyong's performance, Mo Qingyun could not help but feel a little envious and emotional. Chapter 1822. Brother Hao Shangyong, why are you injured? You have the Phoenix Feather Cloak and the Divine Flame Shield. Are you not a match for those flaming birds? Brother Hao Shangyong, did something happen in the Sea of Flames? Seeing Hao Shangyong come out of the Sea of Flames, the people of the Divine Flame tribe outside all went up to him in shock. Hao Shangyong did not answer the questions of the people of the Divine Flame tribe. He said nervously, "We will leave this place immediately. As for what happened in the Sea of Flames, I will tell you later." Hao Shangyong was worried that Mo Qingyun would chase after him and come out of the Sea of Flames to kill him. As soon as Hao Shangyong finished speaking, he flew forward, ignoring the people around him. Seeing Hao Shangyong's action, the people of the Divine Flame tribe looked at each other, puzzled. They hesitated for a moment, but they still followed Hao Shangyong and left together with him. Seeing the people of the Divine Flame tribe come and go in a hurry, the people around them were curious. They wanted to know what terrible things Hao Shangyong had experienced in the Sea of Flames. When he came out of the Sea of Flames, he looked uneasy and left the Flame Spirit Valley in a hurry. What happened in the Sea of Flames that made Hao Shangyong so nervous and scared? There must be something terrible in the Sea of Flames that made Hao Shangyong panic. It seems that Mo Qingyun has been in there for a long time without any movement. He might have died in there. At this moment, everyone was curious and puzzled, guessing what had happened in the Sea of Flames. Regarding the commotion in the outside world, Mo Qingyun could be said to be completely unaware. Seeing Hao Shangyong leave, Mo Qingyun did not chase after him, but withdrew his gaze. Although Hao Shangyong's Phoenix Feather Cloak was precious, it was not of much value to him. With his strong body, he was not afraid of the flames, so there was not much difference whether he used the Phoenix Feather Cloak or not. Now, the most important thing for Mo Qingyun was to collect the true blood of the Phoenix Blood Heavenly Rock as soon as possible. Mo Qingyun pondered for a moment. Then his figure moved and flew towards a flaming bird. Screech! When he came close to the flaming bird, Mo Qingyun was discovered and attacked by the flaming bird. Seeing the flaming bird attack, Mo Qingyun immediately retreated, planning to use the same trick again. After a while, Mo Qingyun came to an open space and began to counterattack the flaming bird. Facing Mo Qingyun's sudden counterattack, the flaming bird was caught off guard and immediately fell into a passive situation. It didn't take long for this flaming bird to be killed by Mo Qingyun's sword formation, just like the previous ones. Blood, blood, Phoenix, blood, heavenly rocks, true blood, heavenly rocks, true blood, heavenly rock. The fire. Thinking back to the flaming bird from before, Mo Qingyun's heart trembled as he made a major discovery. He thought to himself, could it be that this type of flaming bird doesn't have true blood in its body, and the other type of flaming bird has true blood in its body? With this thought, Mo Qingyun did not waste any more time and looked for the other type of flaming bird. After a while, a second type of flaming bird was killed by Mo Qingyun's sword, and a drop of blood flew out from its body. It's just as I guessed. Only the second type of flaming bird will have the true blood of the heavenly rock. After several comparisons and tests, Mo Qingyun's guess was confirmed, proving that his previous idea was correct. With this discovery, Mo Qingyun did not waste any more time and targeted the flaming birds. During this time, the first type of flaming bird was attracted, but they were all killed by Mo Qingyun. Time slowly passed as Mo Qingyun hunted the flaming birds. When Mo Qingyun hunted the flaming birds, he reached the end of the sea of flames. There was no path ahead. This meant that the sea of flames before him should be the nest of the heavenly rock with phoenix blood. With this information, Mo Qingyun did not think too much about it and focused on hunting the flaming birds in the sea of flames. In the blink of an eye, 5 days had passed. After 5 days of continuous hunting, Mo Qingyun had hunted all the second type of flaming birds in the sea of flames. In these 5 days, he had obtained a total of 123 drops of true blood of the heavenly rock. This was a terrifying harvest. If Senior Sister Man Yin and the rest can refine the true blood of the heavenly rock with phoenix blood, it will be much easier for them to refine weapons in the future. Thinking of the true blood in his body, Mo Qingyun silently planned in his heart to give Man Yin and the rest a drop of true blood of the heavenly rock. While learning from the Burning Sword Divine Craftsman, the various senior sisters and senior brothers took good care of him. He ought to repay everyone now. In any case, the amount of true blood in his body was already more than enough to use the Nirvana creation pill. Harboring such thoughts, Mo Qingyun left the sea of flames and reappeared in everyone's line of sight. Seeing Mo Qingyun suddenly appear, everyone opened their eyes wide, very surprised by Mo Qingyun's appearance. Mo Qingyun came out, he didn't die. How is this possible? Even Hao Shangyong could not last for long. How could he possibly last for so long? Do you guys think that Hao Shangyong coming out in a hurry has something to do with Mo Qingyun? Impossible. This is definitely impossible. The more everyone thought about it, the more shocked they were, and they were unable to accept this result for a long time. They did not think that Mo Qingyun could scare Hao Shangyong away. Subsequently, Mo Qingyun prepared to leave the Flame Soul Valley under everyone's gazes. Since his objective of coming here had been perfectly achieved, there was no meaning in staying. At this moment, just as Mo Qingyun was about to leave, a group of people flew over with extreme speed. When these people appeared, they emitted a terrifying devil aura that covered the surrounding area of 5,000 kilometers. Under the envelopment of this devil aura, the expressions of the surrounding people immediately changed greatly, and all of them revealed expressions of fear. The people of the Heavenly Soul Devil Clan had arrived. Were they here to welcome Mo Qingyun? If it was really like this, then this lineup was too great. At this moment, among the people who came to welcome Mo Qingyun, besides close to 10 Nine Heavens Xian Immortal Realm experts, there was also a 9 Heavens Xian Immortal Realm expert. As for the 9 Heavens Xian Immortal Realm experts, there were a few dozen of them. This lineup was truly too terrifying. When these people arrived here and saw Mo Qingyun before them, they immediately dispersed. In next to no time, these people surrounded Mo Qingyun and sealed off Mo Qingyun's path of retreat. Chapter 1823. Strange. Looking at their actions, they don't seem like they're here to welcome someone. Yeah, I feel like they're here to capture someone. Am I hallucinating? This is too strange. Isn't Mo Qingyun a genius of the Heavenly Soul Demon Clan? Why is he being treated like this? For a moment, everyone was confused. They did not understand what was going on. Compared to everyone's confusion and doubt, Mo Qingyun could not be more clear about what was going on. If he was not wrong, the people before him should have been sent by the various factions. However, what surprised Mo Qingyun was that these people had arrived so quickly, just in time to intercept him. Mo Qingyun indifferently swept his gaze across the crowd. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly. He smiled. The leaders of your various factions really think highly of me. They've sent so many experts to welcome me. As Mo Qingyun spoke, he calmly hovered in the air, sizing up the people in front of him with interest. Although these people had come together, they were clearly not united. They were wary of each other. They were all preventing the people from the other factions from using this opportunity to rope in Mo Qingyun and pull Mo Qingyun into their faction. Mo Qingyun didn't care about these people's reactions. He just stood in the air leisurely. For a moment, the atmosphere became rather oppressive. Everyone was tense. After a while, someone finally could not take it anymore. He took the lead and walked towards Mo Qingyun. He said, "Prince Qingyun, our Chihi faction would like to invite you to our territory for a while. I hope you won't make things difficult for us." If one listened carefully, they would be able to hear a faint threat and command in this person's words. After this person spoke, the people from the various factions all tensed up. They were all worried that Mo Qingyun would accept the invitation and be roped in by the Chihi faction. At that moment, powerful, obscure killing intent radiated from the people from the various factions. They had already decided that if Mo Qingyun could not be of use to them, then they would have to destroy him. Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, Mo Qingyun's expression did not change. He looked at the person from the Chihi branch and said, "I want to agree, but the people around me won't. What do you think I should do?" "You." Faced with Mo Qingyun's question, the expression of the person from Chihi's branch froze. He glared at Mo Qingyun, speechless. Seeing that this person was at a loss for words, Mo Qingyun didn't say anything else. He stood indifferently in the air. He knew very well that Mo Qingyun was drawing hatred to him, making all the factions hostile to him. Seeing the actions of the people around him, Mo Qingyun smiled and said, "You can't even handle such a small matter, and you still want to invite me to your clan's land. It seems that your sincerity is not high." After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he looked away and looked at the others with interest. "Are you also here to invite me to your clan's place for a little chat? Is that your goal as well? It seems that none of you are sincere. Since none of you are sincere, I won't accompany you." When Mo Qingyun's gaze swept across the crowd, he didn't forget to question them, making them all fall silent. They were all worried that Mo Qingyun was setting a trap for them, making them accidentally become the subject of ridicule. Once they fell for it, it would cause the dissatisfaction of the various factions, and a mess would immediately occur. Seeing that no one spoke, Mo Qingyun was not in the mood to waste time with them. He smiled and said, "Since none of you are sincere, I will first bid you farewell." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, his figure moved and he prepared to leave everyone's sight. "Prince Qingyun, please wait." When he saw Mo Qingyun intended to leave, an old man at the third level of the Nine Heavens' mysterious immortal realm immediately shouted loudly at Mo Qingyun. After that, the old man's figure flashed and arrived before Mo Qingyun. As far as he was concerned, this was a good opportunity to deal with Mo Qingyun, and he absolutely couldn't allow Mo Qingyun to leave. When he saw his path was blocked, Mo Qingyun's face sank slightly, and he shouted, "Fuck off. I don't have the time to play with all of you." Emperor Qingyun. As soon as they heard Mo Qingyun's answer, everyone immediately persuaded him and held onto that last trace of hope. Before this person could finish speaking, Mo Qingyun's face had darkened, and he interrupted this person and said furiously, "I don't want to repeat myself. Fuck off to the side right now. Otherwise, don't blame me for disregarding our relationship as fellow clansmen and killing all of you." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, a strand of gloomy killing intent erupted from him. Under the envelopment of Mo Qingyun's killing intent, this person's expression immediately tensed up, and his expression changed without end. They were very clearly aware that if they still didn't move aside, then Mo Qingyun would really kill them. Under the pressure of Mo Qingyun's imposing aura, the person that blocked Mo Qingyun's path gritted his teeth and made a decision. And he said coldly, "Prince Qingyun, since you insist on not cooperating with us, then we can only offend you." As soon as this person finished speaking, his figure flashed, and he pounced towards Mo Qingyun. Seeing that the other party was determined to stop him, Mo Qingyun was finally completely enraged, and he shouted, "Since you insist on dying, then I can't be too polite to you." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he took out a black token and raised it up high with his right hand, and said, "This person wants to harm me. Whoever captures him will be heavily rewarded in the future." Mo Qingyun's strategy was very good. Before making a move, he would first put a label on the other party so that he would never be able to clear his name. More importantly, Mo Qingyun was now in possession of the demon punishment token, and he had the ability to do so. Break! As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he no longer hesitated and immediately threw a punch forward. A terrifying Xianxing spiritual energy erupted from Mo Qingyun's fist, and it carried a terrifying demonic aura. Bang! Soon the two fists collided in the air, and there was a loud explosion. As the sound was heard, a powerful spiritual storm formed in the air. Seeing this scene, the surrounding people were all dumbfounded, and they were caught off guard by this unforeseen event. What? Those people from a Heavenly Soul Demon clan are really here to chase after Mo Qingyun. The number one genius of the Heavenly Soul Demon clan is actually being chased by the Heavenly Soul Demon clan. This is really ironic. It seems like the internal strife of the Heavenly Soul Demon clan is getting more and more intense. With so many experts surrounding him, Mo Qingyun is in danger this time. I wonder if he can leave this place. While the crowd was shocked, they were also worried for Mo Qingyun, and they were afraid that Mo Qingyun and the others would run away. Under everyone's gaze, Mo Qingyun's face was still calm, and he said coldly, "Don't hesitate anymore. Those who want to deal with me, just join in." After Mo Qingyun's words, the Heavenly Soul Demon clan's people were hesitant, and they were considering whether they should join in. Chapter 1824. When they attacked, the expert at the 4th level of the 9 Heaven Xian Immortal Realm didn't attack Mo Qingyun together. Mo Qingyun's expression eased up slightly when he saw this person didn't attack, but he still divided his attention to be on guard against this person. With this person's cultivation at the 4th level of the 9 Heaven Xian Immortal Realm, if he suddenly launched a surprise attack, Mo Qingyun would still be caught off guard. Therefore, it was necessary to keep an eye on him and secretly take precautions against him. All of you know that I'm a prince of the clan, yet you actually dare to attack me. Looks like all of you intend to rebel. Mo Qingyun's expression turned cold as he looked at the group that attacked him, and he put a huge label on all of them as he shouted, "All of you have offended your superiors and intended to kill a genius disciple of the clan, endangering the clan's growth and continuation. I now sentence all of you to be guilty of treason and should be killed. Should be killed." These sonorous words came out of Mo Qingyun's mouth, and it immediately shocked the hearts of all of them. When they heard Mo Qingyun's words, all of them were stunned, and they revealed slight hesitation. Mo Qingyun wasn't lying. He was the junior with the highest natural talent in the Heavenly Soul Devil clan, and he was the future hope of the Heavenly Soul Devil clan. If they killed him, it would be no different from treason. However, they received the orders of the various sects, and they couldn't go against it unless they wanted their clan to weaken. After a short moment of hesitation, they immediately came to a decision. They still had to kill Mo Qingyun. For the continuation of their clan, they had no choice but to abandon themselves and kill Mo Qingyun. In next to no time, all of them revealed cold expressions, and their eyes shone with cold light as they approached Mo Qingyun. Combination door. Looking at the group that attacked him, Mo Qingyun didn't waste his breath on them, and he immediately executed his martial soul ability. In next to no time, a door of light with 4 grooves appeared in the sky above them. along with the appearance of this door of light, for mysterious forces were emitted from it. Pooh! Pooh! Under the influence of these four forces, someone's face immediately paled, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. Although some people did not immediately vomit blood, their faces were pale as they looked at Mo Qingyun in shock. What kind of divine ability is this? This isn't the bloodline divine ability of the heavenly soul demons. What a terrifying divine ability. It can actually seal one's soul, blood, and bloodline. There's no such thing in the information. It seems like he hid some trump cards in his previous performance. This kid's talent is truly astonishing. No wonder he's the #1 in the last 10 million years. Everyone was shocked, and their gazes towards Mo Qingyun became even more serious. In the face of everyone's expressions, Mo Qingyun chuckled indifferently and took out 2 divine ability dragon horns. As soon as the dragon horn was taken out, it exuded a terrifying power of lightning and condensed into a pair of gigantic lightning wings. The lightning wings formed behind Mo Qingyun's back, increasing Mo Qingyun's flying speed. Lightning Dragon Heaven Slash. At the same time that Mo Qingyun's speed increased, 2 gigantic lightning dragons formed in front of him. When the 2 lightning dragons were formed, they charged toward the crowd in front of them with the force of a thunderbolt. What a terrifying power of lightning. This Prince Qingyun is really terrifying. I can't rashly offend him. When he saw the strength that Mo Qingyun revealed, that 4th level 9 heavens Xian immortal realm expert was terrified and said to himself, with this Prince Qingyun's potential, so long as he doesn't die, he'll absolutely become a saint realm expert in the future. The risk of offending him is too great. He knew very well that if he couldn't kill Mo Qingyun, then it would absolutely be a calamity. After thinking like this 4th level 9 heavens Xian immortal realm expert sighed with emotion and said, "It seems like I should make a choice. I have to take a huge gamble." This 4th level 9 heavens Xian immortal realm expert muttered to himself and hesitated at the side. Should he choose to attack? Or should he choose to surrender to Mo Qingyun? This was a dangerous move. The slightest carelessness would lead them to the abyss. While this 4th level 9 heavens Xian immortal realm expert was hesitating, the 2 gigantic lightning dragons arrived before them. When they saw the lightning dragons rapidly approaching, those people didn't dare to hesitate and immediately attacked the 2 lightning dragons. Very quickly, fist shadows, sword lights, and palm blades condensed in the air. Bang, bang, bang. The fist shadows, sword lights, palm blades, and other attacks blasted on the 2 lightning dragons and immediately created a series of sounds. At the same time, a terrifying wave of spiritual energy spread out from within. When the spiritual energy waves spread out, the fist shadows, sword auras, and palm blades instantly fell apart. After destroying the fist shadows, sword lights, and palm blades, the 2 lightning dragons didn't stop attacking and continued to bombard the crowd. When they saw the situation, some people's expressions changed drastically and they quickly retreated. Only some of the weaker people couldn't dodge in time and were hit by the lightning dragons. Puff, puff, puff. When these people were hit by the lightning dragons, their bodies were immediately cut in half at the waist, and they let out miserable cries. When they saw this scene, those who were lucky enough to dodge all revealed a lingering fear. Too terrifying. If they were a step late, they would be cut in half by Mo Qingyun's divine ability like these people. When everyone revealed lingering fear, Mo Qingyun's figure moved and attacked those who were cut in half at the waist. You, hurry up and attack. Do you want to be annihilated one by one? When they saw Mo Qingyun attacking them, those who were cut in half at the waist immediately asked for help. Hearing these people's cries for help, the expressions of those who were at the side shook, and they thought of a terrifying outcome. They might really be annihilated one by one. Subsequently, those who hesitated and didn't attack also attacked Mo Qingyun at this moment. Along with these people joining the battle, the pressure on Mo Qingyun increased greatly, and his attacks were stopped by them. When he saw Mo Qingyun's situation, the eyes of that expert at the fourth level of the Nine Heavens' profound, immortal realm lit up as he had a good idea in his heart. Presently, Prince Qingyun is in danger. If I lend him a hand, then I'll surely be able to obtain his acknowledgement and acceptance. When this expert thought like this in his heart, he immediately flew towards Mo Qingyun and said in a clear voice, Prince Qingyun, I, Kuale, have come to assist you in battle and annihilate these traitors. As soon as Kuale finished speaking, he charged towards a third-level Nine Heavens profound, immortal realm expert, and it terrified that person to the point his countenance immediately turned pale. This unforeseen event was truly unexpected and caught them off guard. In the current battle, the addition of a fourth-level Nine Heavens profound, immortal realm expert had an extremely great impact on the situation of the battle. Lineage Master Kuale, when they saw Kuale's actions, the others revealed furious expressions, and they glared furiously at Kuale while being speechless. Chapter 1825. Interesting. If that's the case, I can save myself some trouble. Mo Qingyun smiled faintly when he saw Kuale help him. His tense expression eased a little. Mo Qingyun muttered to himself. He ignored Kuale and continued to deal with the others for Qingyun. Of course, Mo Qingyun was still on guard against Kuale, just in case he was trying to trick him by injuring himself. With Kuale's help, the situation of the battle immediately changed drastically. The tide of the battle seemed to be turning. Run quickly. When they realized that the situation wasn't right, some people immediately chose to run for their lives, not daring to stay for even a moment longer. Mo Qingyun didn't give chase when he saw those people flee. He just looked at Kuale indifferently. Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, Kuale walked over to Mo Qingyun with a respectful expression and knelt down. Sun-chasing lineage Master Kuale pays his respects to Prince Qingyun. Get up. Mo Qingyun waved his hands indifferently in response to Kuale's actions. He didn't show much emotion as he said, Thank you for your help. Since those fellows have already left, let's part ways here. Although Kuale had helped, Mo Qingyun didn't want to have any interactions with him. He wasn't particularly at ease with him. After all, this fellow's cultivation base was obvious. It wasn't safe to get too close to him. Therefore, it was better to part ways with him early and get rid of this hidden danger. As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he ignored Kuale and immediately turned around to leave. Prince Qingyun, please wait. Kuale panicked when he saw Mo Qingyun about to leave and called out to Mo Qingyun. By helping Mo Qingyun, he had already entrusted the future of his lineage to Mo Qingyun. If he couldn't obtain Mo Qingyun's approval, his actions would be equivalent to harming his lineage. Therefore, no matter what methods he used, he had to obtain Mo Qingyun's acceptance. Is there anything else? Mo Qingyun frowned slightly when he heard Kuale's words. He turned his head to look at Kuale. Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, Kuale wore a grave expression and said in a deep voice, My sun-chasing lineage has always been oppressed and ruled by the Tung lineage. Tung Hui ordered me to assassinate the prince, but the prince is the future of the heavenly soul demon race. I can't do anything to hurt the prince, so I helped the prince kill those people. Hearing Kuale's words, Mo Qingyun's gaze softened, and he had a better impression of him. Mo Qingyun could tell that Kuale's words were his true feelings. Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, Kuale no longer hid his emotions. With a pleading expression, he said, Prince Qingyun, this subordinate has disobeyed Tung Hui's orders this time and will definitely suffer their revenge. Please take into account that I made a move earlier and accept our faction as your followers. Accept you. Mo Qingyun frowned slightly and appeared to be in a difficult position. He was considering whether to accept the sun-chasing lineage. To be honest, given the strength that Kuale had displayed, the sun-chasing lineage shouldn't be weak. If he could obtain the support of the sun-chasing lineage, his position in the heavenly soul demon race would definitely become more stable. However, he still couldn't be sure if Kuale's current actions were a ruse. What if Kuale retreated in order to advance and successfully stay by his side? What would he do if Kuale wanted to betray him? Seeing Mo Qingyun's hesitation, Kuale's expression immediately changed. He guessed Mo Qingyun's thoughts and concerns. Knowing Mo Qingyun's concerns, Kuale opened up his sea of consciousness and said, "In order to show my loyalty, I'm willing to open up my sea of consciousness and let Prince Qingyun plant a soul imprint. Since you've done this, if I don't accept you, I'll seem too petty." Seeing Kuale's performance, Mo Qingyun didn't think too much and decided to accept Kuale and the sun-chasing lineage. Immediately, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and immediately planted a soul imprint on Kuale. After Mo Qingyun planted a soul imprint on Kuale, he had a clear understanding of Kuale's thoughts. What Kuale had just said was from the bottom of his heart. He truly wanted to submit to Mo Qingyun. Let's go. After subduing Kuale, Mo Qingyun didn't want to stay any longer and flew toward the exit of the tree hole. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, Kuale didn't dare to hesitate and immediately followed behind Mo Qingyun. It didn't take long for Mo Qingyun to arrive outside the Flame Spirit Valley. He glanced at the surroundings. While Mo Qingyun was looking around, he also released his soul power to sense the surrounding environment. He was worried that the people from the various major factions wouldn't give up and would continue to ambush him outside. After a careful scan, Mo Qingyun's expression turned for the better and he put down his worries. There wasn't any danger outside the Flame Soul Valley. "Your Highness, where are we going next?" Seeing Mo Qingyun standing in place and not speaking, Kuale asked in confusion. Under Kuale's question, Mo Qingyun hesitated for a moment and said, "I want to return to the main clan first. Are you coming with me or returning to the sun-chasing lineage first?" Mo Qingyun felt that since Kuale had suddenly submitted to him, he should go back and explain the matter. Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, Kuale quickly made a decision and replied, "Your Highness, I don't want to go back for the time being. I plan to follow your Highness. As for the matter of me submitting to your Highness, I think it's better to explain it later." "Oh, what do you mean?" Hearing Kuale's words, Mo Qingyun was curious and immediately asked Kuale. Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, Kuale smiled faintly and said, "It's like this. If I go back now and declare that our lineage is submitting to you, it will inevitably lead to the suppression of the Tongue lineage. We won't be able to play a greater role and will only become a burden to your Highness." What you said makes sense. After listening to Kuale's analysis, Mo Qingyun nodded in agreement. However, Mo Qingyun also knew that Kuale had his own selfish reasons for saying this. This was because as long as the sun-chasing lineage didn't declare their allegiance, the Tongue lineage wouldn't target them. Mo Qingyun thought for a moment, and his expression became more serious. He said, "Although we won't declare our allegiance for the time being, the sun-chasing lineage will still be under my control in secret." Mo Qingyun didn't think that subduing Kuale was equivalent to subduing the entire sun-chasing lineage. What if a fellow appeared and replaced Kuale's position and wasn't willing to submit to him? Therefore, he could only hold some of the sun-chasing lineage in his hands. This was the safest and most foolproof method. All right, let's not talk about unnecessary things first. Come with me to the main clan. After explaining to Kuale, Mo Qingyun didn't want to delay any longer and set off for the main clan of the Heavenly Soul Demons. Although he had to make a trip to the Immortals' camp, he had to explain to the Divine Craftsman Burning Sword before he set off. Furthermore, he had obtained a lot of Phoenix blood and Heavenly Rock True blood this time. He had to go back and distribute it. Chapter 1826. Moments after leaving the Flame Soul Valley, Mo Qingyun took out the Divine Boat Clan's flying boat and floated in front of them. Seeing the Divine Boat Clan's flying boat, Kuale was immediately shocked. He looked at Mo Qingyun with a changed expression. "Prince, is this a flying boat refined by the Divine Boat Clan?" "That's right." Mo Qingyun nodded. Hearing Mo Qingyun's nod, Kuale's expression changed again. The shock in his eyes intensified. He had always heard about how amazing the flying boats refined by the Divine Boat clan were, but he had never seen one with his own eyes. He did not expect his new master to have such a thing. It was really surprising. Quale, you will control the flying boat. We will set off for the main clan. After taking out the flying boat, Mo Qingyun instructed Quale and walked into the flying boat. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Quale's face was filled with shock. His expression became excited. It was too surprising. It was really too surprising. He did not expect that he would not only see the Divine Boat clan's flying boat before he was born, but he would also be able to pilot it. Prince, you want me to pilot the Divine Boat clan's flying boat? Quale looked excited and asked Mo Qingyun nervously. He could not believe that this was true. Hearing Quale's question, Mo Qingyun turned to look at him and asked, "Do you want me to pilot it?" No. Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, Quale immediately waved his hand in a panic and hurriedly explained, "I didn't mean that. I was just too surprised. I didn't expect that I would be lucky enough to pilot the Divine Boat clan's flying boat." Seeing Quale's reaction, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and did not say anything. Then, Mo Qingyun turned around and pointed to the control array in the flying boat. He said, "This is the spirit gathering array. It needs to be activated using the High Luo technique. This is the acceleration array." Next, Mo Qingyun demonstrated all the control techniques to Quale. After Mo Qingyun gave Quale some pointers, he walked into a secret room and began to cultivate the 99 Heavenly Demon God-Slaying Sword Array. His comprehension of the 99 Heavenly Devil God-Slaying Sword formation was only a step away from the small accomplishment standard. He should make the best use of his time to break through it. As the branch master of the Sun Chaser lineage, Quale was naturally very familiar with the location and route of the main branch. With him controlling the flying ship, Mo Qingyun was not worried at all. Besides that, with Quale's cultivation at the 4th level of the 9 Heavens mysterious immortal realm, no one would dare obstruct him while he was controlling the flying vessel. After that, everything went smoothly and they didn't run into any trouble. 3 days later, with Quarry hurrying along, he arrived in the vicinity of the main clan. According to Mo Qingyun's instructions, Quali found a secluded place to stop near the headquarters. "Your Highness, we've arrived at the main clan." After stopping the flying vessel, Quale sent a voice transmission to Mo Qingyun to report his current location. After receiving Quale's soul sound transmission, Mo Qingyun withdrew from his cultivation. He had a regretful expression as he said, "What a pity. Just a little bit more, and my control over the 9x9 Heavenly Demon God-Slaying Sword Array would have reached this small success stage." Mo Qingyun sighed regretfully. He didn't continue cultivating and got up to walk out of the secret room. Breaking through couldn't be rushed, especially when it came to the cultivation of divine abilities. It required a long period of accumulation and consolidation. His control of the 9-9 Heavenly Demon God-Slaying Sword formation had already reached a critical point. It wasn't something that could be broken through in a hurry. What he needed now was to accumulate bit by bit and wait for the moment when the conditions were right. When he saw Mo Qingyun walk out of the secret room, Quale immediately went to greet him and bowed respectfully to Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun nodded at Quale's greeting and walked out of the divine boat. Outside the flying vessel, Mo Qingyun looked at Quale and said solemnly, "It's too conspicuous for you to enter the main clan with me. I'll send you to a place now. Don't resist the pulling force." "Send me to a place?" Quale was puzzled. He didn't understand Mo Qingyun's words. Before Quale could react, he felt a pulling force, and his face tensed up. However, thinking of Mo Qingyun's instructions, Quale gave up resisting. Soon, Quale was sent to the Fortune mainland. He looked around in shock. While Quale was still in shock, Mo Qingyun instructed him not to wander around. After instructing Quale, Mo Qingyun set up a barrier around Quale, just in case. With Mo Qingyun's control over the Fortune mainland, even a true Saint Realm expert couldn't break through the barrier he set up. After settling everything, Mo Qingyun did not delay any longer and flew back to the main clan. Different. When Mo Qingyun returned to his residence, he saw Bai Yu and the others bustling around. Seeing Mo Qingyun's return, Bai Yu and the others were pleasantly surprised. They asked about Mo Qingyun out of concern. Bai Yu and the others were well aware that Mo Qingyun had left the main clan to meet one of his friends. They were worried that it was the Tongue Branch's conspiracy. Now that Mo Qingyun had returned, they could rest assured. After exchanging some pleasantries with Bai Yu and the others, Mo Qingyun didn't waste any time and directly said, "Senior brother Bai Yu, immediately gather all the senior and junior brothers in the main hall. I have something to tell everyone." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Bai Yu and the others were curious and quickly went to convey Mo Qingyun's words. After separating from Bai Yu and the others, Mo Qingyun's footsteps did not stop as he went to look for the burning sword divine blacksmith. Not long after, Mo Qingyun found the sundering sword divine craftsman and reported his safety to him. Seeing that Mo Qingyun had returned, the burning sword divine blacksmith was naturally overjoyed, and his face was filled with gratification. In his opinion, as long as Mo Qingyun could return safely, this was more important than anything else. "Master, I've just gathered senior brothers and senior sisters in the main hall. Let's go together." After exchanging some pleasantries with the burning sword divine blacksmith, Mo Qingyun urged him and briefly explained what had happened. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the burning sword divine blacksmith's expression changed, and a trace of curiosity flashed in his eyes. For Mo Qingyun to gather everyone in such a hurry, he did not know what important things he had to say. Immediately, the burning sword divine blacksmith and Mo Qingyun came to the conference hall together. When Mo Qingyun and the burning sword divine blacksmith arrived, the hall was already filled with people. Seeing Mo Qingyun's arrival, Mannion immediately revealed a playful expression and made a face at Mo Qingyun, saying, "Little junior brother, I was refining a very precious weapon, and you suddenly told Bai Yu to come find me, interrupting my refining. How do you plan to compensate me?" Seeing Mannion's actions, Mo Qingyun shrugged helplessly. He did not know what to do with this senior sister. He smiled and said, "Senior sister, don't worry. The compensation I'll give you later will satisfy you." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, not only did Mannion look curious, even Bai Yu and the others were curious. Chapter 1827. Under everyone's gaze, Mo Qingyun took out a jade bottle and poured out a drop of blood. As soon as this drop of blood appeared, it emitted a shocking heat wave that filled the entire hall. Feeling the heat wave in the blood, everyone was shocked and couldn't help but widen their eyes. What kind of blood was this? The power of fire contained in it was terrifying. Whoosh! While everyone was still in shock, a small firebird flew out from the blood. Seeing the shadow of the firebird, everyone was even more shocked. They knew the origin of this drop of blood. This is the true blood of the phoenix blood heavenly rock. Little junior brother, you're truly amazing. You actually managed to obtain such a precious item. Some time ago, a genius of the Divine Flame clan seemed to have successfully advanced his bloodline after refining the true blood of the phoenix blood heavenly rock. Bai Wei and the others were impressed and began to talk with each other. This kid always does things unexpectedly. Looking at the true blood of the phoenix blood heavenly rock in Mo Qingyun's hand, Divine Craftsman Burning Sword shook his head helplessly. He seemed to have gotten used to the fact that his disciple couldn't be looked at with ordinary eyes. Divine Craftsman Burning Sword sighed and smiled faintly. He looked at Mo Qingyun and joked, "Qingyun, you asked us to come here in a hurry. Don't tell me you want to give us the true blood of the phoenix blood heavenly rock?" Hearing this, everyone's faces were filled with shock and anticipation. It would be great if that was the case. Mo Qingyun looked surprised. He didn't expect Divine Craftsman Burning Sword to have guessed correctly. "To be honest, Master, I asked everyone to come here in a hurry to give you the true blood of the phoenix blood heavenly rock." Seeing that his thoughts had been seen through, Mo Qingyun didn't try to hide it and immediately nodded to the divine blacksmith. It's true. Divine Craftsman Burning Sword was just joking. Now that he heard Mo Qingyun's confirmation, he immediately stood up excitedly. This kind of thing was also very shocking and unexpected to him. Just now, he was just joking. He didn't expect it to be true. Then, Mo Qingyun distributed the true blood of the Phoenix Blood Heavenly Rock to everyone under the shocked gaze of Divine Craftsman Burning Sword. Soon, everyone present had a drop of the true blood of the Phoenix Blood Heavenly Rock. Looking at the true blood of the Phoenix Blood Heavenly Rock, even Divine Craftsman Burning Sword was surprised. If they refined the true blood of the Phoenix Blood Heavenly Rock, their bloodline would be strengthened and their refining efficiency would increase. While everyone was shocked, a puzzled expression appeared on Mo Qingyun's face as he asked, "Senior Brother Baiyue, why isn't Senior Brother Chen Chongqing here? Have you didn't inform him?" "Oh, I see." Hearing Baiyu say this, Mo Qingyun nodded in understanding and didn't think too much about it. Since Chongqing's son had killed someone, it was reasonable for him to apologize to them. But considering Chongqing's identity and his relationship with him, Mo Qingyun was still concerned. "Senior Brother Baiyue, this is a matter of life and death after all. Moreover, the other party's identity is not simple. I'm worried that Senior Brother Chongqing will encounter some trouble if he goes alone. Why don't we go and help him?" "Little Junior Brother, you're right. We've neglected this point." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Baiyue's expression immediately turned serious. He said with a worried expression, "Junior Brother Chongqing's wife has an extraordinary background. She was the former saintess of the Ice Crane Rain Butterfly clan. Her cultivation has reached the second level of the Nine Heavens mystic immortal realm. If she blindly protects Chen Wuhui, I'm afraid Junior Brother Chongqing won't be able to bring Chen Wuhui to apologize." Hearing Baiyue's words, Mo Qingyun's frown deepened. He was even more worried about Chongqing. Chen Chongqing couldn't bring Chen Wuhui to apologize. If the Lightning Serpent clan's patriarch felt that he wasn't sincere enough, it would be troublesome if he vented his anger on him. "Senior Brother Baiyue, I'm worried that Senior Brother Chongqing will be in danger. Let's go find him immediately." After listening to Baiyue's analysis, Mo Qingyun was even more worried. He felt that Chen Chongqing's trip would be extremely dangerous. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Baiyue and the others' expressions tensed up. They realized that the matter wasn't simple. "Senior Brother Baiyue, how long has Senior Brother Chongqing been gone?" Since he had decided to help Chen Chongqing, Mo Qingyun didn't want to waste any time. He started to ask for detailed information. Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Baiyue didn't hide anything and immediately told Mo Qingyun the truth. After listening to Baiyue's story, Mo Qingyun was even more worried. He didn't want to waste any more time. "Senior Brother Baiyue, do any of you know the location of the Ice Crane Rain Butterfly clan?" Mo Qingyun thought for a while and decided to go to the Ice Crane Rain Butterfly clan first to understand the specific situation. At the same time, he would see if Chen Chongqing was there. Then, he would capture Chen Wuhui. This Chen Wuhui had caused trouble. How could he let Chen Chongqing take the blame while he was free outside? Even if he was Chen Chongqing's son, Mo Qingyun couldn't kill him. It was still necessary to let him suffer a little. Otherwise, every time he caused trouble outside, would Chen Chongqing have to apologize to him? "Little Junior Brother, I know." Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Man Yan's eyes lit up. She walked towards Mo Qingyun. Seeing Man Yan walk over, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and nodded. He glanced at Baiyue and said, "Since that's the case, Senior Brother Baiyue and Senior Sister, come with me and settle Senior Brother Chongqing's matter." Since Mo Qingyun had made his decision, he didn't want to delay and said goodbye to the Burning Sword Divine Craftsman. After handing over some matters, Mo Qingyun and the other two set off. When Mo Qingyun went to help Chen Chongqing, the Burning Sword Divine Craftsman didn't stop him. He only reminded him to come back and participate in the Heavenly Demon Gathering. After leaving the meeting hall, Mo Qingyun and the others rushed towards the Ice Crane Rain Butterfly clan without stopping. The Ice Crane Rain Butterfly clan wasn't very far. With Mo Qingyun and the other two speed, they could reach in 5 days. However, in order to save time, Mo Qingyun took out the flying boat of the Shinjo clan and used it to replace the 3 of them. Seeing Mo Qingyun take out the flying boat of the Shinjo clan, Bai Yue was shocked. He didn't expect Mo Qingyun to have such a treasure. As Man Yin had seen it once, she wasn't surprised to see it again. Next, Mo Qingyun and the other 2 drove the flying boat and rushed towards the Ice Crane Rain Butterfly clan. After about half a day, Mo Qingyun and the other 2 arrived at the Ice Crane Rain Butterfly clan and entered a huge city. Chapter 1828. Soon, under Man Yan's lead, the 3 of them arrived in front of a huge mansion. This was the residence of Chen Chongqing's wife, the City Lord Mansion of Spirit Jade City. Come, let's go in. Standing outside the Spirit Jade Mansion, Mo Qingyun briefly scanned the place and nodded to Man Yin and Li Yinhong. As Man Yin and Li Yinhong had been here a few times, the housekeeper was very familiar with them and immediately welcomed them warmly. Soon, Mo Qingyun and the other 2 were brought into a large hall and waited for the housekeeper to pass on a message to Huang Lingyu. Mo Qingyun and the other 2 waited for a while before a middle-aged woman came before them. Greetings, City Lord Spirit Jade. Sister Lingyu, long time no see. Seeing Huang Lingyu arrive, Man Yin and Li Yinhong immediately stood up and greeted her. Huang Lingyu waved her hand indifferently at their actions and said, "We're all acquaintances. There's no need to be so courteous." Soon, the 4 of them sat down and exchanged a few simple pleasantries. Sister Man Yin, this little brother is? After everyone exchanged pleasantries, Huang Lingyu revealed a curious expression, and her gaze fell on Mo Qingyun. Seeing Huang Lingyu asking about Mo Qingyun, Man Yin immediately became excited and pointed at Mo Qingyun with exultation. Sister Lingyu, this is Master's new disciple, my junior brother Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun. Huang Lingyu frowned slightly and looked at Mo Qingyun curiously. She muttered to herself, "This name is a little familiar. I think I've heard it somewhere before." Huang Lingyu tried to recall, but she couldn't recall anything, so she didn't think too much about it. In her opinion, a person at the Firefly stage wasn't worthy of her attention. Man Yin, you didn't come to find me this time just to have a heart-to-heart talk, right? After finishing the pleasantries, Huang Lingyu's expression became more serious, and she went straight to the point. When they heard Huang Lingyu's question, Man Yin and the others no longer concealed it. They said in a deep voice, "Elder Sister Lingyu, we came to look for you this time, mainly because of Wu Hui." Knowing the purpose of Mo Qingyun's visit, Huang Lingyu's face darkened, and her attitude became much colder. She said, "This is our family's matter, so you don't have to worry about it. I will handle Wu Hui's matter. If there is nothing else, please leave." Seeing Huang Lingyu's great change in attitude, Man Yin and Bai Yu both exchanged glances, not knowing what to do. Then, Man Yin and Man Yin looked at Mo Qingyun, waiting for Mo Qingyun's instructions. Seeing Man and Yin looking at Mo Qingyun, as if they were asking for Mo Qingyun's opinion, Huang Lingyu cast a few more glances at Mo Qingyun. She was very surprised that among Man Yin and the other 2, Mo Qingyun actually took the lead. Under Huang Lingyu's gaze, Mo Qingyun laughed softly and said, "City Lord Lingyu, I've heard of a saying, a loving mother leads to a wastrel son. Don't suffer the consequences of your own actions." Mo Qingyun's words were very impolite and even had a hint of provocation. He could tell that Shen Wuhui's actions today were mostly caused by Huang Lingyu. "Sir, what do you mean by this?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Huang Lingyu's expression immediately turned cold, and her body emitted a murderous intent. If not for the fact that she was wary of the divine craftsman, the rude brat in front of her would have already become a ghost under her palm. Mo Qingyun did not take Huang Lingyu's murderous intent to heart at all. He said indifferently, I just want to remind you that in this wild continent, putting aside the immortal race, there are many races that the ice crane rain butterfly race cannot provoke. You can't always protect Chen Wuhui. I hope he doesn't kick an iron plate. You, hearing Mo Qingyun's impolite words, Huang Lingyu became even angrier, and the coldness in her eyes intensified. She said, I don't need you to teach me how to teach my son. You can leave now. Mo Qingyun smiled meaningfully and did not say anything more. He gave Man Yin and Baiyu a look and said, Senior Sister Man Yin, Senior Brother Baiyu, let's go. We'll go to the Lightning Snake Tribe to find Senior Brother Chongqing. After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he ignored Huang Lingyu and walked out of the spiritual Jade Mansion. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, Man Yin and Baiyu hesitated for a moment, then immediately followed behind Mo Qingyun. What an arrogant brat! Looking at Mo Qingyun's back, Huang Lingyu clenched her teeth and fists tightly. If not for the divine craftsman, she would have already attacked Mo Qingyun and made Mo Qingyun regret his actions. At that moment, while Huang Lingyu was fuming, a young man with a lazy expression walked over. Man Yin, you're here. When the young man saw Man Yin, he was ecstatic and quickly walked to Man Yan's side. Anyone with a discerning eye could see that this guy was interested in Man Yin. Seeing the young man walk closer, Man Yin immediately showed a disgusted expression and distanced herself from him. She said, Chen Wuhui, please pay attention to the way you address me. I'm your martial aunt. Yes, martial aunt. Hearing Man Yan's reprimand, the young man smiled indifferently. There was no respect in his tone. Seeing the young man's actions, Mo Qingyun frowned and knew the young man's identity. It turned out that he was Chen Chongqing's son, Chen Wuhui. He was indeed an unruly guy. Seeing that Mo Qingyun was looking at him with some disgust and disdain, Chen Wuhui immediately became angry and shouted, Boy, if you dare to look at me again, do you believe that I won't gouge your eyes out? I don't believe you. Mo Qingyun shook his head and smiled. You, on the other hand, if you don't restrain yourself, even if your mother is here, I can still make you suffer. Brat, I think your skin is itchy and you're looking for a beating. Seeing Mo Qingyun's attitude, Chen Wuhui's face turned cold. He glanced at Man Yin and smiled. If I'm not wrong, you're interested in Man Yin, right? Are you trying to show off in front of her? Hearing Chen Wuhui's words, Man Yan's face turned red and she said angrily, Chen Wuhui, are you done? He's your father's junior brother and also your martial uncle, Mo Qingyun. Father? Hearing Man Yin mention Chen Chongqing, Chen Wuhui's face was full of disdain and he sneered. Don't tell me that other than refining weapons, he's a good-for-nothing. He doesn't have the right to be my father, and he wants to bring me to the Thunder Serpent tribe to apologize. He's really an idiot and pedantic. You. Seeing Chen Wuhui's attitude, Man Yin was furious, and she glared fiercely at Chen Wuhui. Seeing Chen Wuhui's attitude, Mo Qingyun's expression turned cold, and he couldn't help but turn to Huang Lingyu and said, City Lord Lingyu, is this how you teach your son? Teach him to be disrespectful to his own father? Chen Wuhui could disagree with Chen Chongqing's way of doing things, but it was wrong to insult Chen Chongqing like this. We don't need you to meddle in our affairs. Facing Mo Qingyun's questioning, Huang Lingyu panicked and replied with a guilty conscience. Chapter 1829. What Mo Qingyun wanted now was to find Chen Chongqing as soon as possible and confirm whether Chen Chongqing was safe or not. As for teaching Chen Wuhui a lesson, it could be discussed later. There was no need to rush. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Man Yin and Chen Chongqing did not stay any longer and immediately left with Mo Qingyun. Seeing that Mo Qingyun was about to leave, Chen Wuhui's face immediately turned cold. He blocked Mo Qingyun's way and sneered, Kid, you offended me just now. Do you want to leave just like that? Seeing Chen Wuhui's action, Mo Qingyun's mouth curled up slightly and a trace of mockery flashed in his eyes. For Chen Chongqing's sake, he did not want to bicker with Chen Wuhui. However, this guy was asking for a beating. For senior brother Chen's sake, If you get out of the way now, I cannot bicker with you. Mo Qingyun looked at Chun Chongqing indifferently and calmly explained to him, giving people a kind of imposing posture without being angry. Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, Chen Wuhui's expression could not help but tremble, and his body unconsciously stepped back. The gaze of this kid in front of him gave him an illusion as if he was being stared at by a ferocious beast. Humph! Seeing Chen Wuhui step aside, Mo Qingyun snorted coldly and walked out with a displeased expression. Although Mo Qingyun's action made Huang Lingyu very unhappy, she did not get involved. She knew very well that if she were to get involved, things would become complicated. Although she did not know Mo Qingyun's origin, she could see that Mo Qingyun was very extraordinary from Mo Qingyun's actions. Otherwise, a person in the Firefly stage would not have such an imposing manner and would not be supported by Man Yin and Chen Chongqing. Huang Lingyu could see this, but Chen Wuhui could not. When he thought about how he had been so frightened by Mo Qingyun's gaze that he had consciously stepped aside, Chen Wuhui immediately became furious and shouted, "Brat, stop right there!" As Chen Wuhui spoke, he did not forget to attack Mo Qingyun. He raised his hand and struck out at Mo Qingyun. Seeing Chen Wuhui's action, Man Yin panicked. She quickly shouted at Chen Wuhui, "Chen Wuhui, stop! He is not someone you can offend." Although Mo Qingyun was the disciple of the Burning Sword Divine Craftsman, he was also the most talented person in the Heavenly Soul Demon race. This identity was not something that Chen Wuhui could offend. Even if Mo Qingyun did not argue with Chen Wuhui for the sake of Chen Chongqing, the elders of the Heavenly Soul Demon clan would not let it go. "You're actually protecting him. It seems like you care a lot about him." Hearing Man Yan's nervous words, Chen Wuhui immediately became jealous, and his expression became distorted. In his opinion, Man Yan's refusal to accept him might have something to do with Mo Qingyun. Immediately, Chen Wuhui's attack became even fiercer. He could not wait to tear Mo Qingyun into pieces. Huang Lingyu did not stop Chen Wuhui from attacking. She looked at this scene indifferently. She also wanted to see what kind of ability this arrogant brat had. Get lost. Facing Chen Wuhui's attack, Mo Qingyun did not even turn his head. He only calmly said, "Get lost." Very quickly, a powerful aura exploded from Mo Qingyun's body. When this aura exploded, it was like a violent wave that crashed towards Chen Wuhui. Bang! Under the impact of Mo Qingyun's aura, Chen Wuhui was immediately sent flying backwards. Little Junior, seeing this scene, Baiyu was immediately shocked. He did not dare to believe that this was real. With Chen Wuhui's cultivation at the first level of the Nine Heavens Xian Immortal Realm, he was actually sent flying by Mo Qingyun's aura under a surprise attack. This was too unbelievable. Compared to the shock that Baiyu showed, Man Yin was much calmer. Back in the Kunlai Immortal Realm, even Xing Qinghan, who was at the second level of the Nine Heavens Xian Immortal Realm, was almost killed by Mo Qingyun. Chen Wuhui, who was only at the first level of the Nine Heavens Xian Immortal Realm, was naturally not a match for him. Huia, seeing Chen Wuhui being sent flying, Huang Lingyu immediately revealed a shocked expression and quickly came to Chen Wuhui's side. Huang Lingyu caught Chen Wuhui. She revealed a shocked expression and turned to look at Mo Qingyun. She guessed that Mo Qingyun was extraordinary, but she never thought that Mo Qingyun's strength would be so terrifying. Under Huang Lingyu's shocked gaze, Mo Qingyun glanced at Chen Wuhui indifferently and said, "City Lord Lingyu, I told you before not to take the Ice Crane Rain Butterfly clan too seriously. If it was not for senior brother Chongqing, he would be a dead man now. Sir, you are too arrogant." Looking at Mo Qingyun's arrogant attitude, Huang Lingyu revealed a furious expression and retorted unwillingly. Seeing that Huang Lingyu's attitude did not change, Mo Qingyun did not talk nonsense with him and directly flicked his palm at Huang Lingyu. Demonic Star Splitting Palm. Mo Qingyun's palm blasted out. The terrifying black Xianqing spiritual energy quickly condensed into a giant black palm. Once the giant black palm was formed, it emitted a monstrous demonic aura and crushed towards Huang Lingyu. So powerful. Looking at the giant palm that was surging with aura, Huang Lingyu was so frightened that her face turned pale. She immediately blocked Mo Qingyun's palm. Soon, a light green celestial spiritual energy began to gather above the yellow Lingyu. The light green energy gathered and turned into an ice crane shadow, which collided with the giant black palm. Bang! After being hit by the giant black palm, the ice crane shadow was instantly destroyed and dissipated into the air. After the giant black palm destroyed the ice crane, it did not continue to fall. Instead, it stopped above Huang Lingyu and Chen Wuhui's heads. Puff! Even so, under the impact of the giant black palm's aura, Huang Lingyu and Chen Wuhui spat out blood. Immediately, the shock and fear in their eyes when they looked at Mo Qingyun became even more intense. Mo Qingyun's strength was too terrifying. It was completely beyond their comprehension. Mo Qingyun did not pay attention to Huang Lingyu and Chen Wuhui's reactions. He said indifferently, "City Lord Lingyu, this is a reminder to you. If you don't want to see Chen Wuhui's corpse thrown into the wilderness, you'd better not continue to indulge him." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Huang Lingyu was speechless. She did not know how to refute. Thinking of Mo Qingyun's current actions, she understood that Mo Qingyun was using facts to remind her. Before Huang Lingyu could speak, Mo Qingyun looked at Chen Wuhui and said, "Don't think that just because you have a little talent and a little background, you can do whatever you want and be arrogant. This world is very big. You still have a long way to go." After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he ignored Huang Lingyu and Chen Wuhui and turned to walk out of the city lord mansion. At this moment, just as Mo Qingyun was about to leave, a large group of guards rushed over. Seeing the large group of guards, Chen Wuhui immediately regained his confidence and shouted, "All of you, take action immediately and capture this brat." Yes. After receiving Chen Wuhui's order, the guards immediately obeyed and surrounded Mo Qingyun and the other two. Looking at the guards who surrounded him, Mo Qingyun's face darkened and a cold light flashed in his eyes. Chapter 1830. Bloodline Suppression. A terrifying bloodline power erupted from Mo Qingyun's body, crushing the surrounding guards. Under the powerful bloodline suppression, the surrounding guards immediately spat out blood and fell to the ground, twitching. At this moment, they felt as if their blood had frozen. A suffocating feeling grew in their hearts, as if death had descended upon them. Then, everyone looked at Mo Qingyun with fear in their eyes. What a terrifying bloodline power. It's at least a king bloodline. Under the pressure of Mo Qingyun's bloodline, even someone of Huang Lingyu's level found it difficult to breathe. At this moment, she finally realized how terrifying Mo Qingyun was. Under Huang Lingyu's shocked gaze, Mo Qingyun raised his hand and waved it forward, blasting out a majestic, immortal spiritual energy. When the immortal spiritual energy appeared, it turned into a crescent-shaped blade light and swept towards the guards. Puff! Under the crescent-shaped blade light's sweep, the guards blocking the path were immediately sent flying. Seeing the miserable state of the guards, Chen Wuhui was so scared that his face turned pale and his body trembled uncontrollably. At this moment, he could not help but feel as if he was those guards, killed by Mo Qingyun with a wave of his hand. Ignoring Chen Wuhui's fear, Mo Qingyun sent the guards blocking the path flying, and he walked out of the city lord's mansion. After seeing Mo Qingyun's strength, the other guards did not dare to block Mo Qingyun's path and immediately made way for him. Then, Mo Qingyun swaggered out of the city lord's mansion. Outside the city lord's mansion, senior brother Baiwei, from what Huang Lingyu said just now, her relationship with Chongqing doesn't seem to be harmonious. Coming out of the city lord's mansion, Mo Qingyun looked puzzled and asked Baiwei his question. Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Baiwei immediately sighed and said, Speaking of this, I feel that it's not worth it for Changxing to fall in love with a cold and heartless woman. Mo Qingyun's brows furrowed tightly. The curiosity and confusion in his heart immediately grew stronger. Under Mo Qingyun's curious gaze, Baiwei revealed an indignant expression and sighed. Back then, Changxing was second to none among us senior brothers, whether it was in terms of refining or cultivation. It was all because of this woman that he was so lonely. Mo Qingyun's expression was slightly shocked. He did not expect the silent Qin Changxing to have an unknown past. Baiyu did not stop talking and continued to narrate to Mo Qingyun. At that time, Huang Lingyu wanted to fight for the position of saintess and requested Master to refine an ice crane jade butterfly hairpin for her. Master was too busy and rejected her. She refused to give up and asked junior brother Changxing for help. It looks like that's how senior brother Changxing and Huang Lingyu met. Mo Qingyun cursed in his heart. He had a general understanding of how Chun Changxing and Huang Lingyu met. As Mo Qingyun cursed in his heart, Baiyu sighed and said, "Back then, junior brother Changxing also rejected Huang Lingyu. Who would have thought that this woman would sacrifice her body and make junior brother Changxing feel guilty towards her, forcing junior brother Changxing to refine the ice crane jade hairpin for her? Who would have thought that there were so many stories behind this?" After hearing Baiyue's explanation, Mo Qingyun could not help but sigh. He said in a deep voice, "It looks like Huang Lingyu is indeed very scheming and very utilitarian. With senior brother Changxing's personality, he is indeed not suited to be with her." That's not all. Baiwei immediately shook his head when he heard Mo Qingyun's words. He continued, "In order to activate the ice crane jade butterfly hairpin's power, junior brother Changxing used his essence blood to refine the hairpin, greatly increasing its power and making it infinitely close to a true saint artifact. Senior brother Changxing actually used his essence blood to refine a weapon. It looks like he has deep feelings for Huang Lingyu." Mo Qingyun was surprised. He was very surprised by Chun Changxing's actions. He guessed the reason why his talent had declined. He said, "It looks like senior brother Changxing's talent has declined because he used up too much essence blood in the process of refining, damaging his cultivation foundation." That is indeed the case. Baiyu nodded when he saw that Mo Qingyun had guessed the reason. His face was filled with intense anger. He said, "It's just that Huang Lingyu purposely distanced herself from junior brother Changxing when she saw that he had successfully refined the ice crane jade butterfly hairpin in junior brother Changxing's talent." After listening to Baiyue's narration, Mo Qingyun's impression of Huang Lingyu immediately worsened. It looked like Huang Lingyu had indeed gone overboard. She was clearly burning the bridge after crossing it. Forget it. Let's find senior brother Changxing first. As for the couple's matter, let them deal with it themselves. Mo Qingyun thought about it. He still did not want to interfere with Chun Changxing's love affairs and decided to let Qin Changxing deal with it himself. As the saying went, whoever started the trouble should end it. Outsiders could not help him with this matter. After hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Baiyu and his companion did not say anything else. They followed Mo Qingyun to the Thunder Snake tribe. After leaving the Spirit Jade City, Mo Qingyun took out the flying boat and drove it to the Thunder Snake tribe. The Thunder Snake tribe was not far from the Ice Crane Jade Butterfly tribe. Mo Qingyun and his companion drove the flying boat and only took a day. When Mo Qingyun and the other two arrived at the Thunder Snake tribe, they felt an oppressive aura. It was as if two armies were about to go to war. In the Thunder Snake tribe's camp, groups of Thunder Snake tribesmen with cold auras were constantly patrolling. Looking at the Thunder Snake tribe's stance, it seems like they are about to go to war with other tribes. Seeing the situation in the Thunder Snake tribe, Mo Qingyun's expression changed slightly, and he said a sentence of surprise. Just as Mo Qingyun was feeling surprised, a figure in the distance attracted Mo Qingyun's attention. This figure was Chun Changxing, senior brother Changxing. Mo Qingyun's expression tensed up when he saw the wretched figure tied to a tall pole. While Mo Qingyun was nervous, he also relaxed. It was fine as long as Chun Changxing was still alive. As long as Chun Changxing was still alive, everything would be easy. Senior brother Bai Yue, senior sister Man Yin, the two of you stay here. I will go and bring senior brother Changxing back. Since he had discovered Chun Changxing, Mo Qingyun did not want to waste any time. He was ready to save Chun Changxing immediately. He could not guarantee that the Thunder Snake Tribe's leader would not suddenly decide to kill Chun Changxing in a fit of anger. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed and flew quickly towards Chun Changxing. A terrifying black fog exploded. There's an enemy attack. Mo Qingyun's sudden appearance immediately attracted the attention of the Thunder Snake Tribe. A large group of Thunder Snake tribesmen surrounded them. Mo Qingyun did not take the Thunder Snake Tribe's actions to heart and flew directly towards Chun Changxing. Chapter 1831. Brat, if you dare to come any closer, believe it or not, I will kill him immediately. Seeing Mo Qingyun approaching Chun Changxing, a skinny middle-aged man threatened Mo Qingyun with a cold gaze. As the man spoke, he took out a machete and placed it on Chun Changxing's neck. Looking at his posture, it seemed that if Mo Qingyun dared to move, he would chop off Chun Changxing's head. Unfortunately, he had miscalculated. This kind of method could not stop Mo Qingyun. Seeing this man's action, Mo Qingyun's lips curled into a contemptuous smile and said, "If I want to save someone, you can't stop me." As Mo Qingyun spoke, a red light flashed in his right eye and a red light shot out. The red light attack was extremely fast. Before the man could react, a hole had appeared in his head. When the man's mind was pierced, his sea of consciousness and soul were also forcefully destroyed. With his sea of consciousness collapsing and his soul dissipating, the man's eyes began to turn hollow, and he fell backward with a dull expression. After Mo Qingyun used his gaze to kill the man, his figure flashed, and he came to Changxing's side and said, "Senior brother Changxing, how are you?" Little junior brother. At Mo Qingyun's call, Chun Changxing slowly opened his eyes and looked at Mo Qingyun in shock. He would never have thought that Mo Qingyun would risk his life to save him. This friendship was too strong. After a short moment of shock, Chun Changxing became nervous and said anxiously, "Little junior brother, there are many experts in the Lightning Serpent tribe. Quickly leave this place. Don't worry about me." In response to Chun Changxing's panic, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and said casually, "Senior brother Changxing, don't be too worried. Since I dare to save you, I naturally have the confidence to take you away." Looking at the indifferent face of Mo Qingyun, Chun Changxing's expression changed slightly, and he wanted to persuade Mo Qingyun again. However, before Chun Changxing could say anything, he was interrupted by Mo Qingyun and said, "Senior brother Changxing, let's talk later. I will take you away from here first." After Mo Qingyun finished his words, he waved his hand and cut the rope that bound Chun Changxing. After cutting the rope, Mo Qingyun lifted Chun Changxing and flew out of the Lightning Serpent tribe. When Mo Qingyun flew away, several figures flew over a high speed. Each of them exuded a powerful aura. Seeing the appearance of these people, Mo Qingyun stopped and looked at them indifferently. These people's cultivation were all at least at the second level of the Nine Heavens realm, and some were even at the third level of the Nine Heavens. Of course, with their little bit of cultivation, it was still far from enough to make Mo Qingyun stay. Chun Changxing was not sure of Mo Qingyun's strength. Hence, when he saw these people coming, he was so scared that his face turned pale. "Patriarch Jilin, I will go back with you immediately. Please let go of my junior brother." Looking at the middle-aged man in the lead, Chun Changxing pleaded for Mo Qingyun with a pleading expression. Hearing Chun Changxing's pleading, the middle-aged man's expression changed. He looked at Mo Qingyun with a sinister smile and said, "Chun Changxing, if you want to save your junior brother, you have to use your son's life in exchange." Chun Changxing was silent. Jilin's request was too demanding. If he did not care about Chen Wuhui, he would not have come to the Lightning Serpent tribe to negotiate with Jilin. Seeing that Chun Changxing was silent, Jilin's expression turned cold. He looked at Mo Qingyun with a sinister gaze and said, "What's wrong?" Aren't you very concerned about your junior brother's safety? Why aren't you saying anything now? I. In the face of Jalin's questioning, Chun Chongqing's face was filled with pain and struggle. He did not know how to refute. He did not want to see Mo Qingyun in danger, but he also did not want Chen Wuhui to be killed. This choice was too difficult. Seeing Chun Chongqing's reaction, Mo Qingyun patted his shoulder and looked at Jalin indifferently. He said, "Patriarch Jalin, I'm only here to take my senior brother away. As for the feud between you and Chen Wuhui, I do not want to interfere. However, I hope that you do not fail to appreciate my kindness." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, his body emitted a chilling aura. He carried Chen Chongqing and flew forward slowly. Seeing Mo Qingyun's action, Jalin was stunned. He was stunned by Mo Qingyun. The young man in front of him gave him a strange feeling. He had the urge to bow down to him. However, when he thought of the relationship between Mo Qingyun and Chen Chongqing, Jalin immediately discarded that thought. Mo Qingyun was only Chen Chongqing's junior brother. He could not possibly have a powerful background. He did not need to be afraid of Mo Qingyun. Stop them immediately. Don't let them escape. Jalin did not expect to be stunned by Mo Qingyun. He was furious and immediately ordered the people beside him. After receiving Jalin's order, the people immediately chased after Mo Qingyun and blocked Mo Qingyun's path again. Seeing that his path was blocked, Mo Qingyun did not panic. He looked at Jalin calmly and said, "I have given you a chance. Since you do not know how to appreciate it, don't blame me for being rude." Bloodline suppression. As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he activated his bloodline power and suppressed Jalin and the others. A terrifying bloodline fluctuation erupted from Mo Qingyun's body, enveloping an area of 100 miles around him. Under Mo Qingyun's bloodline suppression, the surrounding lightning serpent tribe members immediately vomited blood. Their faces were filled with fear. Ancient ranked bloodline. Jalin's eyes widened in shock when he felt Mo Qingyun's bloodline suppression. He guessed Mo Qingyun's identity and said in shock, You are from the Heavenly Soul Demon Tribe. You are the most talented person in the Heavenly Soul Demon Tribe. Mo Qingyun, Your Highness, please spare our lives. We know our mistakes." After guessing Mo Qingyun's identity, Jalin's legs turned to jelly and his face turned as pale as paper. If he knew Mo Qingyun's identity, he would not have dared to disrespect Mo Qingyun even if he had 10,000 guts. In the eyes of the other tribes, Mo Qingyun was the lifeblood of the Heavenly Soul Demon Tribe. If they attacked him, they would become enemies with the Heavenly Soul Demon Tribe. "You actually guessed my identity. Looks like you are smarter than Huang Lingyu." Seeing that his identity had been guessed, Mo Qingyun did not hide it. He smiled meaningfully at Jalin and said, "Now, can I leave this place?" Yes. After knowing Mo Qingyun's identity, Jalin did not dare to stop him. He anxiously nodded in response and said, "Your Highness, Chen Wuhui killed my son. Please seek justice for me." Jalin didn't dare to continue speaking. He was waiting for Mo Qingyun's reply. If Mo Qingyun wanted to protect Chen Wuhui, there was nothing he could do. He could only admit that he was unlucky. Upon hearing Jalin's words, Mo Qingyun glanced at Chen Chongqing. He pondered for a moment before saying, "My purpose in coming here is to save my senior. As for the grudge between you and Chen Wuhui, I have no interest in it." Chapter 1832. Clan Leader, what should we do now? Are we really going to spare Chen Wuhui? Looking at Mo Qingyun's back, an elder from the Lightning Serpent Tribe asked Jalin about his plan. Hearing the elder's question, Jalin squinted his eyes and his expression darkened. He said, "No, we definitely won't spare Chen Wuhui. Since Prince Qingyun said he would not interfere in this matter, he will not go back on his words." Then what should we do now? Should we bring our men to Spirit Jade City? After knowing Jalin's plan, the elder's expression changed, and he continued to ask for Jalin's opinion. Jalin looked into the distance and turned to look at the crowd. He said in a deep voice, Elder Zhuexin, in case Prince Qing Yun changes his mind, gather the men immediately. We will set off for Spirit Jade City now." "Yes," Elder Zhuexin responded and went to carry out Jalin's order. Mo Qing Yun was completely unaware of Jalin's arrangement. However, even if Mo Qing Yun knew, he would not stop it. Coincidentally, he could use Jalin to teach Chen Wuhui a lesson. After bringing Chun Chongxing out of the Lightning Serpent tribe, Mo Qing Yun met up with Baiyu and Zhuexin and went to their hiding place. "Junior brother Chongxing, how are you?" "Senior brother Chongxing, come here and sit down." Seeing Chun Chongxing, Baiyu and Zhuexin looked nervous and asked Chun Chongxing with concern. Then, Chun Chongxing sat down on a green rock with the help of the three of them. After helping Chun Chongxing to sit down, Mo Qing Yun took out an elixir pill and handed it to Chun Chongxing. He said, "Senior brother Chongxing, this is the Tai Ching Qilin Dew Golden Pill. Take it and refine it. It will speed up your recovery." "Thank you, junior brother." After taking the elixir pill from Mo Qing Yun, Chun Chongxing swallowed it without hesitation. After Chun Chongxing swallowed the elixir pill, he closed his eyes and began to cultivate to heal his injuries. Seeing that Chun Chongxing was cultivating to heal his injuries, Mo Qing Yun and the other two did not disturb him. Instead, they adjusted their breathing and recovered. Time slowly passed. A few days later, under Chun Chongxing's continuous cultivation, his injuries finally stabilized. "Senior brother Chongxing, how are you?" As soon as Chun Chongxing exited from his cultivation, Mo Qing Yun sensed it and asked about his condition out of concern. "It doesn't matter anymore." Hearing Mo Qing Yun's question, Chun Chongxing smiled faintly and said gratefully, "Junior brother, it's all thanks to you this time. If you hadn't come back to save me, I'm afraid I wouldn't have been able to see you again. We're all fellow disciples. There's no need to be so polite." In response to Chun Chongxing's gratitude, Mo Qing Yun waved his hand indifferently, not taking it to heart at all. He said, "Senior Chongxing, now that I've rescued you, what do you plan to do next?" "Plans." Hearing Mo Qing Yun's question, Chun Chongxing frowned slightly. After a moment of silence, he said, "I'm a little worried about Wu Hui, so I plan to go to Spirit Jade City again. Can you come with me?" "Go to Spirit Jade City?" Mo Qing Yun and the rest were stunned and immediately exchanged glances. The few of them exchanged opinions. Mo Qing Yun nodded at Chun Chongxing and said, "In that case, we'll accompany senior brother Chongxing to Spirit Jade City again." As soon as Mo Qing Yun finished speaking, he took out the flying boat and prepared to drive it to Spirit Jade City. Seeing Mo Qing Yun take out the flying boat, Chun Chongxing was shocked. He was surprised that Mo Qing Yun had such a treasure. However, he was now concerned about Chun Wu Hui and did not ask Mo Qing Yun much. "Let's go in." After taking out the flying boat, Mo Qing Yun gestured to the rest and took the lead to enter the flying boat. Then, Mo Qing Yun drove the flying boat and led everyone to Spirit Jade City. Half a day later, Mo Qing Yun and the rest arrived at Spirit Jade City and saw a messy place. The Lightning Serpent tribe acted quickly. It seems that they were worried that I would change my mind. Looking at the scene in front of him, Mo Qing Yun immediately thought of a possibility, and a faint smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. He was not dissatisfied with the Lightning Serpent tribe's actions and did not care about it all. He did not care about Huang Lingyu and Chen Wu Hui's life and death. Everything was up to him. If Huang Lingyu and Chen Wu Hui were very concerned about Chun Chongxing, he might take care of Huang Lingyu and Chen Wu Hui for Chun Chongxing's sake. However, since the two of them did not care about Chun Chongxing's life and death, why should he care about their lives? Lingyu Wu Hui. Chun Chongxing was different from Mo Qing Yun. He was very concerned about Huang Lingyu and Chen Wu Hui. Seeing the situation, he immediately panicked. Soon after, Chun Chongxing immediately rushed into the Spirit Jade City without stopping for even a moment. Mo Qing Yun did not stop Chun Chongxing's actions and followed with Baiyu and Chen Wu Hui. After a while, the four of them arrived at the city governor's mansion and saw Huang Lingyu in a sorry state. At this moment, Huang Lingyu's hair was disheveled and her eyes were filled with blood. Her expression revealed a trace of despair. As for Chen Wuhui, he was already in the hands of Jolin like a dead dog. Mo Qingyun sensed a little and found that Chen Wuhui's aura was weak. It seemed that his cultivation had been crippled. Chongqing, Wu Hui was taken away by them. Please save Wu Hui. When Huang Lingyu saw Chen Chongqing, she immediately begged Chen Chongqing as if she had seen a life-saving straw. Seeing Huang Lingyu's actions, Chen Chongqing could not bear to see her. He turned to Mo Qingyun and said, "Little junior brother, even if Wu Hui is in the wrong, please save his life on account that he is my son." Hearing Chen Chongqing's pleas, Mo Qingyun looked indifferently at Jolin and said in a low voice, "Jolin, I have a few words to say to him. Don't be in a hurry to kill him." "Yes, your highness." Although Jolin was unwilling to accept Mo Qingyun's request, he still nodded and agreed. He had no choice. Mo Qingyun's identity was too powerful, and he was not someone he could afford to offend. Most importantly, Mo Qingyun's power was terrifying. He could destroy the lightning serpent tribe alone. He did not dare to show any disrespect to such a person. After instructing Jolin, Mo Qingyun walked in front of Chen Wuhui and said indifferently, "Do you know your mistake? I didn't do anything wrong. You don't have to care about my affairs." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Chen Wuhui's face was filled with stubbornness as he replied, unwillingly. Slap! Before Chen Wuhui could finish speaking, Mo Qingyun slapped him across the face and interrupted him. Seeing Mo Qingyun's action, everyone was stunned. They did not understand what Mo Qingyun was trying to do. Ignoring everyone's shock, Mo Qingyun looked coldly at Chen Wuhui and said, "Do you know your mistake? I didn't do anything wrong. My life and death has nothing to do with you. I don't need your hypocrisy." Chen Wuhui's face was filled with stubbornness as he looked coldly at Mo Qingyun and the rest. He treated Mo Qingyun and the rest as his enemies. Slap! Without waiting for Chen Wuhui to finish his words, Mo Qingyun slapped him again, interrupting him. Chapter 1833. After that, Mo Qingyun kept slapping Chen Wuhui until his face was swollen. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, everyone tensed up. Even Jolin and the rest were dumbfounded. Didn't Mo Qingyun want to save Chen Wuhui? Why was he abusing Chen Wuhui now? "Do you know your mistake?" Mo Qingyun slapped Chen Wuhui once again. His tone was indifferent as he questioned Chen Wuhui. He had no intention of stopping. After being beaten by Mo Qingyun again and again, Chen Wuhui was really scared. His face twitched as he said in a panic, "I know my mistake. Please don't hit me anymore." Chen Wuhui felt wronged. Huang Lingyu was indifferent in the face of Mo Qingyun's continuous abuse. This was too different from Huang Lingyu's usual behavior. Huang Lingyu couldn't be blamed. She was being watched by Jolin and the rest, so she didn't dare to act rashly. Seeing Chen Wuhui's reaction, the corners of Mo Qingyun's mouth curled up slightly. He pointed at Chen Chongqing and said, "I believe that with your IQ, you don't need me to teach you." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Chen Wuhui thought for a while and understood Mo Qingyun's meaning. Mo Qingyun was telling him to apologize to Chen Chongqing and admit to the mistakes he had made. Looking at Chen Chongqing, who was not far away, Chen Wuhui's eyes flashed with disdain and showed a reluctant look. Crack! A crisp sound was heard. Seeing Chen Wuhui's action, Mo Qingyun didn't waste any time talking to him. He directly crushed his shoulder and said, "It seems that you still don't understand. You need to reflect on it." His bones were crushed by Mo Qingyun. Chen Wuhui immediately let out a blood-curdling scream as his body began to tremble. Immediately, he looked at Mo Qingyun with an even more terrifying gaze. The guy in front of him was too ruthless. He was like a demon who ate people without spitting out their bones. In comparison, he would rather be killed by Jolin than fall into Mo Qingyun's hands. Gulp! Seeing how Mo Qingyun was torturing Chen Wuhui, Jolin and the others became tense and swallowed, their saliva unconsciously. Mo Qingyun was really too ruthless. Who would have thought that even his own senior brother's son would be so heavy-handed? If someone else had fallen into his hands, their fate would have been even worse. They would have been tortured even more miserably. Young martial uncle, I was wrong. I will apologize to father right now. After his arm was crippled by Mo Qingyun, Chen Wuhui immediately begged for mercy. He was really afraid of Mo Qingyun. Recalling Mo Qingyun's decisive move, even if Mo Qingyun wanted to kill him, he wouldn't dare to have the slightest doubt. Chen Wuhui immediately apologized to Chen Wuhui without the slightest bit of delay. However, anyone with a discerning eye could tell that Chen Wuhui's attitude wasn't very sincere. Mo Qingyun wasn't surprised by Chen Wuhui's actions. He looked at Chen Wuhui indifferently and said, "Do you think that just because your father's cultivation talent is not as good as yours, you could be disrespectful to him?" I wouldn't dare." Faced with Mo Qingyun's questioning, Chen Wuhui's face twitched, and he immediately shook his head to deny it. He was afraid that if he dared to say no, Mo Qingyun would teach him a lesson again. Mo Qingyun naturally didn't believe Chen Wuhui's sophistry. He smiled calmly and said, "You don't have to sophistry. However, I will now prove to you how ignorant your thoughts are." After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he came to Chen Changxing's side and took out a drop of Phoenix Blood Sky Rock's true blood. The moment the Phoenix Blood Sky Rock's true blood was taken out, it emitted a powerful spiritual energy fluctuation and a terrifying flame energy. What a terrifying flame energy! What demonic beast's blood is this? A drop of blood has such an aura. This demonic beast must be extremely terrifying. Judging from the aura of this drop of blood, if you refine this drop of blood, your talent and cultivation will definitely increase greatly. Everyone was shocked when they saw the blood in Mo Qingyun's hand. They were extremely envious of Chen Changxing. To have such a junior brother was the greatest fortune of their lives. Who is this young man? Why can't I see through him? Huang Lingyu's eyes widened when she saw Mo Qingyun nearby. She was even more curious about Mo Qingyun's identity. Huang Lingyu was not an ordinary person. After a short moment of thought, she guessed Mo Qingyun's identity. She exclaimed, "Could he be the most talented person in the Heavenly Soul Devil clan? Mo Qingyun, whose fame spreads far and wide." Huang Lingyu guessed Mo Qingyun's identity. The way she looked at Mo Qingyun immediately changed greatly. At the same time, the way she looked at Chen Changxing also changed greatly. For Chen Changxing to have such a junior brother, it would be difficult for him to achieve meteoric success even if he did not think of it. Under everyone's shocked gazes, Mo Qingyun handed the Phoenix Blood Celestial Rock's true blood to Chen Changxing. He said, "Senior brother Changxing, this is the true blood of the Phoenix Blood Celestial Rock. If you refine it, it should help you recover your former talent. Little junior brother, this is too precious. I can't accept it." Although Chen Changxing coveted the true blood of the Phoenix Blood Celestial Rock, he did not dare to accept it. It was simply too precious. Seeing Chen Changxing's actions, Mo Qingyun smiled indifferently. He said calmly, "Senior brother Changxing, I won't hide it from you. I've already given the other senior brothers and senior sisters. You're the only one who hasn't received it. Everyone has it." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Chen Changxing immediately opened his eyes wide, thinking that he had misheard. He knew very well how precious the Phoenix Blood Celestial Rock's true blood was. He did not expect Mo Qingyun to give everyone a drop. Such generosity was simply too frightening. Compared to Chen Changxing's shock, the hearts of the people around him were filled with envy. Why didn't they meet a junior brother like Mo Qingyun? If that's the case, thank you, little junior brother. Hearing Mo Qingyun's explanation, Chen Changxing did not stand on ceremony and gladly accepted the Phoenix Blood Celestial Rock's true blood. After receiving the Phoenix Blood Celestial Rock's true blood, Chen Changxing did not waste any time and immediately refined it on the spot. As Chun Changxing refined the phoenix blood celestial rock's true blood, the aura he emitted began to rise bit by bit. Looking at his posture, it seemed that he was about to break through his cultivation level. Junior brother Changxing's aura has changed. It seems like he's finally going to break through the cage. Noticing Chun Changxing's change, Bai Yu's face lit up. He was sincerely happy for Chun Changxing. Compared to Bai Yu and Bai Yu's joy, Huang Lingyu, who was standing not far away, wore a blank expression. She said, "Is his talent recovering? Could it be that I really did something wrong?" Next, Chun Changxing refined the phoenix blood, celestial rock's true blood under everyone's gaze. A few hours later, Chun Changxing's aura skyrocketed all of a sudden, reaching a whole new level. Chapter 1834. When Chun Changxing had a breakthrough in his cultivation, the soul star in between his eyebrows suddenly shone brightly. Then, the number of soul stars in between Chun Changxing's eyebrows increased from 6 to 8.5. When Huang Lingyu saw the change in Chun Changxing's soul stars, she was stunned and felt helpless. It seemed that she had made a mistake. Not only had Chun Changxing's talent recovered, but it had also surpassed his peak and reached a higher level. After a short while, Chun Changxing slowly withdrew the aura he had exuded. "Junior brother, I can't thank you enough. Please accept a bow from me." Chun Changxing's talent had been recovered. He was so happy that he cried and wanted to kneel down and bow to Mo Qingyun. To him, Mo Qingyun's help could be considered as a kind of grace of rebirth. "We are all senior brothers. You don't have to be so formal." When Mo Qingyun saw Chun Changxing's action, he quickly raised his hand to stop him, as though he was talking about something normal. After stopping Chun Changxing, Mo Qingyun looked at Chen Wuhui and said, "Now, do you still think that your father's cultivation talent is bad? Do you still think that your talent is great?" Chen Wuhui was at a loss for words, and a look of shame appeared on his face. From the current situation, he had indeed made a mistake in the past. He had been too arrogant. When Mo Qingyun saw Chen Wuhui's reaction, he nodded his head in satisfaction. He knew that Chen Wuhui had repented. When Mo Qingyun noticed Chen Wuhui's change, he did not intend to teach him a lesson. He turned his head to look at Jilin and said, "Jilin, I am very sorry that your son was killed. If you release Chen Wuhui now, I will compensate the Lightning Snake tribe." This, Jilin frowned when he heard Mo Qingyun's words. A sliver of unwillingness appeared on his face. A life for a life. Chen Wuhui had killed his son. He should have been buried with his son. However, he could not reject Mo Qingyun's request unless he wanted the Lightning Snake tribe to be destroyed. Mo Qingyun did not show any displeasure towards Jilin's reaction. He promised calmly, "If you release Chen Wuhui now, I, Mo Qingyun, promise you that if I manage the Heavenly Soul Demon tribe one day, I will ensure that the Lightning Snake tribe will be safe for 10,000 years. 10,000 years. When Jilin heard Mo Qingyun's promise, he trembled and became emotional. Mo Qingyun's promise was a huge protective umbrella for the Thunder Serpent tribe. As for Jilin's promise, he did not doubt that he would be able to control the Heavenly Soul Demon tribe. "I will follow your highness's arrangements." With Jilin's promise, Jilin's words was yes. To him, although killing the useless Chen Wuhui was satisfying, it was not worth angering Mo Qingyun. Anyway, Chen Wuhui's cultivation had been destroyed. He was no different from a useless person. Sparing Chen Wuhui's life would be a more cruel punishment than killing him. "Senior brother Changxing, I have saved Chen Wuhui for you. I will leave the rest to you." After bringing Chen Wuhui over, Mo Qingyun signaled to Chen Changxing and pushed Chen Wuhui over. Chen Changxing took Chen Wuhui from Mo Qingyun's hands and said gratefully, "Little junior brother, I, Chen Changxing, will remember your kindness to me. It's nothing. Don't take it to heart." Mo Qingyun waved his hand. He was still as calm as ever. He turned to look at Chen Wuhui and said, "Now that he has lost his cultivation, he will be more obedient in the future. He will not continue to cause trouble." Little Little Uncle Master, don't worry. I will not cause trouble in the future. Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, Chen Wuhui immediately shivered and hurriedly promised Mo Qingyun. He was very afraid that if he was careless, Mo Qingyun would teach him a lesson again. It should be known that if Mo Qingyun were to teach him a lesson, no one would even dare to say a word. Remember what you said today. Seeing Chen Wuhui's attitude, Mo Qingyun nodded in satisfaction. He turned to look at Huang Lingyu and said, City Lord Lingyu, I will say the same thing. Don't take the Ice Crane Rain Butterfly tribe too seriously. With senior brother Chongqing's talent and status, he can destroy your tribe with a wave of his hand. Your Highness is right. Lingyu will wholeheartedly take care of my husband and children. In the face of Mo Qingyun's lecture, Huang Lingyu's face was filled with fear. She hurriedly responded to Mo Qingyun. After interacting with Mo Qingyun a few times, he had a rough understanding of Mo Qingyun's character. Mo Qingyun was usually fine. However, if you angered him, he would not give face to anyone. For example, when Mo Qingyun taught Chen Wuhui a lesson, he did not give face to anyone and taught Chen Wuhui a harsh lesson. Chen Wuhui was Chen Chongqing's son and could be considered Mo Qingyun's junior nephew. Mo Qingyun did not show any mercy to his own junior nephew. One could only imagine what he would do to others. All right, everyone disperse. Seeing that everything was settled, Mo Qingyun waved to everyone, indicating that this matter was over. After receiving Mo Qingyun's signal, Jilin immediately led his tribesmen and left. They did not dare to stay any longer. After the Lightning Serpent tribe left, Mo Qingyun did not stay any longer and immediately bade farewell to Chen Chongqing. Since Chen Chongqing's matter was settled, it was time for him to return to the main tribe and prepare for the Tianhun Grand Gathering. After leaving Lingyu City, Mo Qingyun immediately took out his flying boat and returned to the main tribe with Baiyu and Jilin. A few days later, Mo Qingyun and the rest returned to the main tribe and went to their respective residences. When Mo Qingyun returned to his residence, he bade farewell to Man Yin and Jilin. Perhaps everyone was refining the true blood of the Phoenix Blood Skyrock. Mo Qingyun realized that everyone was in seclusion. Even the divine blacksmith crescent sword was the same. Forget it. Since everyone is in seclusion, I will make a trip to the Tenshu Palace first. Seeing that everyone was in seclusion, Mo Qingyun did not want to disturb them. He planned to make a trip to the Tenshu Palace. This time, he was ambushed on his way to the Demon City. It was time for him to take some action. He could not do anything about this. However, he could find Tenshu and get Tenshu to help him deal with those people. That old man, Tenshu, tricked him and gave him a hot potato. He had to do something. Soon, Mo Qingyun arrived outside the Tenshu Palace. Looking at the plaque outside the Tenshu Palace, Missouri Qingyun showed a respectful expression and bowed. Junior Mo Qingyun is here to pay respects to Ancestor Tenshu. Following Mo Qingyun's words, a black figure appeared in front of Mo Qingyun. Tianzhong glanced at Mo Qingyun and revealed a lazy expression as he said, "Kid, did you encounter some sort of trouble when you came looking for me this time?" With Tenshu's eyesight, he could tell that Mo Qingyun was looking for him. Chapter 1835. That's right. There is indeed an important matter that I need to report to Ancestor Tenshu. Mo Qingyun didn't beat around the bush under Tenshu's gaze. He said in a low voice, "When I went out to train this time, I was hunted down by a few people from a branch clan. They forced me to hand over the demon punishment token. Ancestor Tenshu, please investigate this matter." As Mo Qingyun spoke, he released a surge of immortal spiritual force and formed an image. This image recorded how he was hunted down along the way, as well as how he was hunted down in the giant flaming tree. Mo Qingyun had deliberately recorded these images so that he could show them to Tenshu. After watching Mo Qingyun's image, Tenshu's expression immediately darkened. He released a bone-chilling aura. With his eyesight, he could tell that Mo Qingyun's image wasn't fake. In other words, Mo Qingyun really was hunted down by his own clan when he went out to train. The Heavenly Soul Demons had only produced one prodigy with an ancient bloodline after tens of millions of years, but he was hunted down by his own clan. This matter was too infuriating. He couldn't tolerate it all. If he didn't punish this matter severely, how could the younger generation of the Heavenly Soul Demons grow up to be independent figures in the future? How dare these idiots attack a prodigy of their own clan? When he thought of the severity of this matter, Tinshu's expression turned cold. He released a terrifying killing intent as he shouted, "It seems that the Heavenly Soul Demons need to be properly reorganized. We need to get rid of these vermin in our clan." It was obvious that Tinshu wanted to make an example out of them and warn some people in the clan. After Tinshu finished speaking, he moved and flew into Tinshu Palace. When he saw Tinshu's actions, Mo Qingyun didn't dare hesitate. He immediately followed behind Tinshu. Greetings to Ancestor Tinshu. When Jiang Shangyao and the others saw Tinshu arrive, they immediately revealed respectful expressions and hurriedly bowed to Tinshu. In response to Jiang Shangyao and the others' greetings, Tinshu only nodded indifferently. He said, "Qingyun, show those images to Jiang Shangyao and the others." Yes. When he heard Tinshu's instructions, Mo Qingyun didn't dare hesitate. He immediately formed an image. When they saw Mo Qingyun's image materialized, the expressions of it all, the eyes to the ears, Jiang Shangyao and the others' faces to the bush. They released the Heavenly Soul Demons to the Heavenly Soul Demons to train. This too is to the Heavenly Soul Demons, is to the Heavenly Soul, to the Heavenly Soul, to kill twos, to the Heavenly, to this, to the. There were only two possibilities for a situation like this to occur. The first was that a traitor had appeared in the clan and was being used by other clans in an attempt to eliminate Mo Qingyun. The second was that the clan's internal strife was intense. In order to eliminate those who disagreed, everyone began to resort to unscrupulous means. Regardless of the situation, it would be a fatal blow to the development and continuation of the Heavenly Soul Demons. When he saw the reactions of Jiang Shangyao and the others, Tinshu's expression darkened. He called out, "Jiang Shangyao, go and investigate this matter immediately. Anyone who participated in the pursuit of Qingyun, execute all 9 generations of their families. Execute all 9 generations of their families." When they heard Tinshu's orders, Jiang Shangyao and the others trembled. They revealed worried expressions. "Ancestor Tinshu, there are many people pursuing Qingyun this time. If all 9 generations of their families are executed, several powerful clans will probably be destroyed. How can a few puny clans compare to Qingyun in value?" Tinshu replied coldly to Jiang Shangyao's concerns. He continued, "I want them to know that anyone who dares to touch Qingyun will end up like this. I want them to think about it carefully." Jiang Shangyao and the others became solemn when they saw Tinshu's attitude. They knew that Tinshu was truly furious. "Ancestor Tinshu, don't worry. We will definitely deal with this matter strictly." When they understood Tinshu's intentions, Jiang Shangyao and the others did not dare to hesitate. They immediately promised Tinshu. They knew that a great purge of the Heavenly Soul Demons was probably about to take place this time. Afterwards, Tinshu gave Jiang Shangyao and the others some more instructions before sending them off to investigate the matter. After sending Jiang Shangyao and the others away, Tinshu revealed an apologetic expression. He turned to look at Mo Qingyun and said, "Kid, I was careless this time. I underestimated the viciousness of those people and caused you to fall into danger. Ancestor Tinshu, you're too serious. It's just a stumbling block on the path of cultivation." Mo Qingyun waved his hand with a faint smile in response to Tinshu's apologetic words. He said calmly, "Our cultivation goes against the heavens. Who knows how many trials and tribulations we have to go through? If I can't even deal with this small problem, how am I supposed to reach the pinnacle of cultivation in the future?" Good. Kid, you're ambitious." Tinshu immediately praised Mo Qingyun when he heard what Mo Qingyun had said. He revealed a look of admiration towards Mo Qingyun. Tenchu praised Mo Qingyun before taking out a short sword. He handed it to Mo Qingyun and said, "Kid, this is my life-bound weapon, the soul-locking sword. I'll give it to you now. When you encounter danger, just activate this short sword and my mind will control it to help you kill your enemies." "Thank you, Ancestor Tenchu." Mo Qingyun immediately expressed his gratitude when he heard Tenchu's words. He accepted the short sword. Tenchu gave Mo Qingyun a few more instructions after handing the short sword to Mo Qingyun. He warned Mo Qingyun about a few things to take note of. After that, Mo Qingyun and Tenchu conversed for a short while before Tenchu left the Tenchu Palace. "Yeah, there seems to be a powerful intent secretly monitoring me," Mo Qingyun muttered in his heart as he walked out from the Tenchu Palace. A very uncomfortable feeling rose in his heart. Mo Qingyun immediately knew the reason for this feeling. He said solemnly, "It seems like this uncomfortable feeling has something to do with the short sword Ancestor Tenchu gave me." Mo Qingyun was very clear that Tenchu was not doing this to monitor him, but to secretly protect him. Although he knew what Tenchu was thinking, Mo Qingyun was still unwilling to accept this feeling of being constantly monitored. Thinking of this, Mo Qingyun took out the short sword and threw it into the Fortune mainland. After Huang Xiaolong threw the short sword into the Fortune mainland, the feeling of being watched gradually disappeared. The Fortune mainland and Savage mainland were separated. Therefore, even with Tenchu's cultivation, he was unable to control the short sword. It's still more comfortable like this. Without the feeling of being monitored, Mo Qingyun revealed a faint smile. His mood instantly improved. Although the short sword could not monitor him, he could still use it to kill enemies when he was in danger. After leaving Tenchu Palace, Missouri Qingyun sped back to his residence. Chapter 1836. The 8 ancient swords were withdrawn by Mo Qingyun, and they revolved in the sky above him and formed numerous exquisite sword formations. Along with the ceaseless passage of time, the speed at which the sword formation evolved grew swifter and swifter, and it became more and more perfect. It wasn't just that. Mo Qingyun's control of the 8 ancient swords became more and more relaxed, and he became more and more skilled. It's about time. Mo Qingyun was delighted when he noticed his control of the ancient swords had improved, and he withdrew another ancient sword with a wave of his hand. After withdrawing another ancient sword, Mo Qingyun's movements didn't stop, and he started to refine this ancient sword. In next to no time, this ancient sword was refined by Mo Qingyun, and it formed a subtle connection with Mo Qingyun. Fuse. After successfully refining the 9th ancient sword, Mo Qingyun's movements didn't stop, and he immediately fused it into the sword formation. When the 9th ancient sword was added into the sword formation, the might revealed by the sword formation immediately increased by a few levels. No wonder it's only at the initial stage of the Devil God Slaughter sword formation after controlling 9 ancient swords. This sort of change is too obvious. Mo Qingyun couldn't help but sigh with emotion when he saw the 9th ancient sword being added into the sword formation and causing the might of the sword formation to increase. Presently, the might revealed by the sword formation had at least increased by close to 20%. In this way, even if I encounter an expert at the 4th level of the 9 heavens' mysterious immortal realm, I'll be able to fight him with my own strength. When Mo Qingyun thought up to here, he felt even more excited, and he worked even harder to familiarize himself with the sword formation. Subsequently, Mo Qingyun was immersed in cultivation, and he paid no attention to everything in the outside world. A few days later, Mo Qingyun stopped cultivating and put away the 9 ancient swords. After a few days of cultivation, his grasp of the Devil God Slaughter sword formation had completely stabilized at the initial stage. Not only that, the number of ancient swords he controlled had arrived at the level of 10. However, Because he controlled 10 ancient swords, it wasn't an increase in his comprehension of the devil-god slaughter-sword formation. Thus, the increase in might of the devil-god slaughter-sword formation when Mo Qingyun executed it wasn't too great. However, Mo Qingyun did not take this to heart. He was very satisfied with the results of this cultivation. There are only a few more days until the heavenly demon hero gathering. I can't continue cultivating. Mo Qingyun calculated the time in his mind. He did not intend to continue cultivating and prepared to deal with some trivial matters. I haven't seen Ling Long in a while. I wonder how she's doing now. Thinking of Qian Linglong's injuries, Mo Qingyun couldn't help but feel a little worried. In a flash, he went to Qian Linglong's residence. When he arrived at Qian Linglong's residence, Mo Qingyun saw Qian Linglong. Her face was still pale and her breath was weak. "Qingyun, you've come." Seeing Mo Qingyun's arrival, Qian Linglong smiled sweetly and walked towards Mo Qingyun. After that, Mo Qingyun followed Qian Linglong to a bamboo chair and sat down. "Linglong, how are you?" Looking at Qian Linglong in front of him, Mo Qingyun revealed a look of concern and asked about Qian Linglong's current situation. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words of concern, Qian Linglong smiled sweetly and shook her head gently. She said, "Qingyun, don't worry too much about me. I'm fine. I'm still the same as before." Although Qian Linglong said that, Mo Qingyun knew very well that Qian Linglong's injuries were still worsening. She said that because she didn't want Mo Qingyun to be anxious. "I've already collected 2 of the ingredients needed to refine the Nirvana elixir of creation. I'll find the other 7 ingredients as soon as possible." Looking at the pale and weak Qian Linglong, Mo Qingyun had a solemn expression on his face as he promised to her. When Mo Qingyun made the promise to Qian Linglong, his expression suddenly changed as he thought of something important. "Qingyun, what's wrong?" Seeing the change in Mo Qingyun's expression, Qian Linglong became nervous and hurriedly asked Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun didn't hide anything from Qian Linglong's question. He said with a serious expression, "I met one of your clones in the Purple Jade Wan Phoenix tribe. Since you were seriously injured and caused Han Yin and Qingyu to faint, Han Wenyu must be in the same situation." "That clone in the Purple Jade Wan Phoenix tribe? You have a relationship with her too?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Qian Linglong was shocked. She was very surprised by this news. Obviously, she didn't expect Mo Qingyun to have such a deep relationship with her 3 clones. Judging from Mo Qingyun's reaction, his relationship with Han Wenyu shouldn't be that simple. Could it be that he's really the one in my destiny? At this moment, Qian Linglong couldn't help but let her imagination run wild. Her feelings for Mo Qingyun deepened. In her opinion, if it wasn't so, why would she have so many entanglements with Mo Qingyun? Qian Linglong pondered for a moment. She smiled sweetly at Mo Qingyun and comforted him. "Qingyun, don't worry too much. Han Wenyu is the daughter of the leader of the Purple Jade Wan Phoenix tribe. Even if she's in a coma, she won't be in too much danger." Hearing Qian Linglong's words, Mo Qingyun's expression became better. He pondered for a moment and said, "When the Tianhan Grand Gathering ends, I'll make a trip to the Purple Jade Wan Phoenix tribe and then enter the immortal desolate domain from the divine desolate domain." The divine desolate domain and the immortal desolate domain were neighbors. On the way to the immortal desolate domain, it would be convenient to make a trip to the Purple Jade Wan Phoenix tribe. "That works too." Hearing Mo Qingyun's idea, Qian Linglong nodded in agreement. She felt that it was a good idea. After that, Mo Qingyun and Qian Linglong talked for a while. He frowned slightly and said, "All right, since my absolute beginning creation bloodline has a strong recovery effect, if I use it to refine the Shang Clarity Jade Fairy Pill, will it increase the efficacy of the pill?" When Mo Qingyun thought about it, he didn't hesitate and immediately took out the 9 Cranes homing cauldron. After taking out the 9 Cranes homing cauldron, Mo Qingyun took out various alchemy materials and prepared to refine the Shang Clarity Jade Fairy Pill. Soon, The alchemy materials were taken out and placed in an orderly manner beside Mo Qingyun. After preparing the alchemy materials, Mo Qingyun immediately shot a fierce flame into the 9 cranes homing cauldron. After that, Mo Qingyun put the alchemy materials into the 9 cranes homing cauldron. After that, the alchemy materials were purified and refined. Slowly, they were condensed into elixirs. After refining the elixirs, Mo Qingyun let them go through a series of pill tribulations just like before. After letting the elixirs go through a few pill tribulations, Mo Qingyun stopped refining the elixirs. He passed the Shang Clarity Jade Fairy Pill to Qianling Long and said, "I have added some of my blood essence into this Shang Clarity Jade Fairy Pill. Do you think the effect will be better?" Looking at the elixirs that Mo Qingyun passed to her, Qianling Long hesitated for a while before nodding her head and accepting the elixirs. Qianling Long swallowed the elixirs, and a shocking amount of vitality was emitted from her body. Immediately, Qianling Long's face started to look better, and there was more color and redness. Chapter 1837. Seeing the changes in Qianling Long, Mo Qingyun stood guard at the side, not disturbing Qianling Long's refinement. Time passed by slowly. As Qianling Long refined the Supreme Clarity Jade Immortal Pills, her breathing became more stable. About 2 hours later, Qianling Long came out from her cultivation with a sweet smile on her face. "Ling Long, how are you?" Seeing Qianling Long come out from her cultivation, Mo Qingyun asked with a worried expression. Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Qianling Long's face lit up with joy. She said excitedly, "The effect of the pills this time is very obvious. The deterioration of my primordial spirit is obviously suppressed. It seems like my deduction is correct." Seeing that his conjecture was correct, Mo Qingyun's eyes flickered. He took out some pill refining materials and said, "Since that's the case, I'll refine a few more cauldrons of Supreme Purity Jade Immortal Pills for you to keep. Once the effects of the pills wear off, you can take another one to control your injuries." Mo Qingyun said his idea. He sent a flame into the cauldron and started refining the Supreme Clarity Jade Immortal Pills. Seeing Mo Qingyun's action, Qianling Long was moved. Her eyes sparkled. She knew that Mo Qingyun was doing this for Long Han Yin and the other girls. But facing Mo Qingyun's concern and consideration, she couldn't help but be moved. Following this, Mo Qingyun immersed himself in refining pills under Qianling Long's watch. In the blink of an eye, several days had passed. The day of the Heavenly Demon Assembly is coming. It's time to leave the Fortune mainland. After Mo Qingyun finished refining the elixirs in front of him, he did not continue refining elixirs. He handed the jade bottle containing the Supreme Clarity Jade Essence Immortal Elixirs to Qianling Long and said, "The Supreme Clarity Jade Essence Immortal Elixirs in here should be enough for you to consume for a period of time. I still have an important matter to attend to, so I will not stay to accompany you. Go ahead." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Qianling Long was even more touched. She gave Mo Qingyun an understanding smile. From Mo Qingyun's actions, Qianling Long could tell that Mo Qingyun still cared about her. Otherwise, Mo Qingyun wouldn't care so much about what she thought. After giving some instructions to Qianling Long, Mo Qingyun left the Fortune mainland. After leaving the Fortune mainland, Mo Qingyun went to look for the Burning Sword Divine Blacksmith to inquire about the recent situation in the Fortune mainland. So many days had passed, and the Burning Sword Divine Craftsman should have finished his cultivation long ago, so he should have a better understanding of the situation in the clan. Not long after, Mo Qingyun arrived at the residence of the Scorching Sword Divine Craftsman and saw him looking refreshed. With the help of the Phoenix Blood and Heavenly Peng True Blood, Divine Craftsman Blazing Sword had broken through to the 3rd level of the 9 Heavens' profound immortal realm. Qingyun, you're finally done with your cultivation. Seeing Mo Qingyun's arrival, Divine Craftsman Blazing Sword smiled faintly. He walked up to Mo Qingyun and said, If you didn't come out, I was going to knock on the door and drag myself out of my room. Mo Qingyun naturally didn't take divine craftsman blazing sword's words seriously. Not to mention whether divine craftsman blazing sword would do it or not. Even if he did, there was no way to drag him out. After all, there were many formations in his courtyard that divine craftsman blazing sword didn't have the ability to break. Recently, I've been cultivating a divine ability, and I happen to be at a bottleneck, so I focus on studying it. Mo Qingyun smiled faintly at divine craftsman blazing sword's words. He casually explained and asked, "Master, did anything big happen in the clan recently?" Mo Qingyun thought that since Tenchu had ordered a strict investigation of him being hunted down, there should be a lot of activity. Now that you ask, I do have something to tell you. Divine craftsman blazing sword's expression immediately turned serious. He said in a deep voice, "Because you were hunted down during your training, Ancestor Tenchu was really angry this time. He severely investigated several branch masters." "Oh, what kind of punishment did those branch masters receive?" Mo Qingyun's curiosity was piqued when he heard the divine craftsman's words, and he hurriedly asked. Divine craftsman blazing sword's expression tensed up even more when he heard Mo Qingyun's question. He said softly, "According to the news I heard, a total of 21 branch masters were killed because of this. So it seems that Ancestor Tenchu is really angry this time. He wants to punish them as an example to others." Mo Qingyun knew Tenchu's thoughts very well. He felt that Tenchu's actions weren't all for him. Of course, Tenchu had put a lot of thought into it by severely punishing more than 20 branch masters. Divine craftsman blazing sword then talked to Mo Qingyun about a few other things. For example, Mo Qingyun's reputation in the clan had suddenly risen because of this matter. Many juniors of the branch masters were dissatisfied with Mo Qingyun. They felt that Mo Qingyun had gone too far. Although the branch masters were in the wrong, Mo Qingyun had asked Tianzhong to take action on his behalf and execute these branch masters along with their entire families. This was indeed a little too ruthless. Mo Qingyun didn't take the dissatisfaction of the branch masters to heart. He directly ignored them. Mo Qingyun felt that it was fine if these people didn't provoke him. If they didn't know what was good for them and came to cause trouble for him, he didn't mind teaching them a lesson. "Master, the Tianhun gathering has begun. Let's go over now." As Mo Qingyun and Divine Craftsman Blazing Sword were talking, Baiyu had a respectful expression as he came to Divine Craftsman Blazing Sword's courtyard. Mo Qingyun frowned when he heard Baiyu's words. He said with a surprised expression, "The Tianhun gathering has begun? Isn't it only tomorrow?" "Qingyun, looks like you've been too busy. You even forgot the date of the Tianhun gathering." Divine Craftsman Blazing Sword and Divine Craftsman Blazing Sword were speechless when they saw Mo Qingyun's reaction. They didn't know what to say to Mo Qingyun. Divine Craftsman Blazing Sword shook his head and smiled bitterly at Mo Qingyun. He said seriously, "If it wasn't for the fact that the Tianhun gathering is about to begin, I wouldn't have thought of forcibly dragging you out of seclusion." Mo Qingyun looked enlightened when he heard that. He believed the two craftsmen. It looked like he had remembered the time wrongly because of Qianling Long. "All right, since the Tianhun gathering has begun, let's go over now." Divine Craftsman Blazing Sword explained to Mo Qingyun. He didn't want to waste any time and led Mo Qingyun and Divine Craftsman Blazing Sword out of the courtyard. After a while, Divine Craftsman Blazing Sword led a group of disciples to where the Tianhun gathering was going to be held. The Tianhun gathering was held at a training ground of the Tianhun Demon Clan. However, under the great efforts of the clan, it had now become a garden full of birds and fragrant flowers. When Mo Qingyun and Divine Craftsman Blazing Sword arrived, the garden was already filled with people. They were all geniuses of the Tianhun Demon Clan. Chapter 1838. Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, he discovered a very strange phenomenon. He didn't know if these people did it on purpose or for some other reason, but they had all taken out their soul stars. The people who participated in the Tianhun Grand Gathering all had very good bloodline talents and their soul stars were all above 6 stars. In addition, Mo Qingyun also discovered that these people's cultivation was basically half a step into the 9 heavens Xian immortal realm and above. After figuring out everyone's situation, Mo Qingyun ignored the others and indifferently followed behind divine craftsman Fenjian. As expected of the people who participated in the Tianhan Grand Gathering, every one of them seems to be very talented. Following behind divine craftsman Fenjian, Mo Qingyun thought silently and couldn't help but sigh with emotion. Although Mo Qingyun was feeling emotional, he didn't take these people to heart. Among these people, the strongest person was only at the 2nd level of the 9 heavens Xian immortal realm. With the strength of these people, they were far from enough to cause trouble for him. Prince Qingyun, you're finally here. Everyone is waiting for you. Just as Mo Qingyun was pondering this, a strange voice came from behind him. When Mo Qingyun heard this voice, he immediately guessed who it was. This person was Teng Xiao, who had a grudge with him. Hearing this, Mo Qingyun turned to look at Teng Xiao and smiled meaningfully. Prince Teng Xiao, I'm not very sure if others are waiting for me, but you must have been waiting for a long time. Am I right? When he heard Mo Qingyun's words, Teng Xiao's gaze turned cold and a murderous intent flashed in his eyes. In the divine wasteland domain, a kid who had fled for his life actually dared to confront him now. This huge difference in status made him feel extremely unhappy, as if he had eaten a dead fly. If he had known that Mo Qingyun would grow to such a level, he would have increased the intensity of his pursuit. However, it seemed to be too late to say this now. Prince Qingyun, you really know how to joke. Suppressing the anger in his heart, Teng Xiao revealed a fake smile and said courteously to Mo Qingyun, you're the #1 genius of our clan. Today, all the geniuses of our clan are gathered here. Shouldn't you show off your skills in front of everyone? When Teng Xiao said this, he looked at a young man and gave him a meaningful glance. After receiving Teng Xiao's look, the young man immediately understood and walked towards Mo Qingyun. He bowed and said, I am Fu Yuan Wang from the Nether River bloodline. I've heard that Prince Qingyun's talent and strength's outstanding. Prince Qing, please give me some pointers. Teng Xiao's words, UNVSS, IZZS, TTSSS, S a person's is out of S's SST. After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he ignored Fu Yuan Wang and didn't want to waste his breath on him. A person who was half a step away from the 9 heavens Xian immortal was not worthy of his attention, nor was he qualified to fight. Prince Royal Azure Cloud is right. How could a lackey who only knows how to curry favor with those in power have any great achievements? What an idiot. If Mo Qingyun is easy to deal with, why didn't Teng Xiao do it himself? Fu Yuan Huang's assess is a slap in the face. He's asking to be humiliated. Silly boy, you'd better get out of here with your tail between your legs. You're not worthy to find trouble with Prince Qingyun. Seeing Fu Yuan Huang's assess, the crowd immediately mocked him. Fu Yuan Huang's face darkened when he heard their words. A cold light flashed in his eyes as he looked at Mo Qingyun. He said angrily, Mo Qingyun, you've gone too far. You have to give me a clear explanation for what you just said. Dark moon hanging upside down. Fu Yuan Wang leaped into the air and kicked at Mo Qingyun while hanging upside down in the air. As Fu Yuan Wang kicked out, a wave of immortal spiritual energy, filled with demonic power, gathered at the tip of his foot. Soon, a crescent-shaped black light from his foot swept towards Mo Qingyun. Sensing Fu Yuan Wang's attack, Mo Qingyun stopped in his tracks and turned to look coldly. Glancing coldly at Fu Yuan Wang, the corners of Mo Qingyun's mouth twitched slightly. He said, a person who only knows how to wag his tail and beg for pity is indeed useless. He only knows how to sneak attack from behind. As Mo Qingyun spoke, he did not remain idle. A terrifying wave of immortal spiritual energy exploded from his body. Break! Mo Qingyun roared. The immortal spiritual energy exploded from his body and collided with the light from the foot, like a ferocious tiger. Under the impact of the tiger-like immortal spiritual energy, the light from Fu Yuanhuang's foot was immediately dispersed. So strong. Fu Yuanhuang panicked when he saw that his full-strength attack had been easily neutralized by Mo Qingyun. Under the circumstances of a sneak attack, his full-strength attack could not even touch the corner of Mo Qingyun's clothes. The disparity in strength between him and Mo Qingyun was truly a little too great. In that case, how was he supposed to fight Mo Qingyun? It was like throwing an egg at a rock. When Fu Yuanhuang thought of this, he wanted to retreat. He looked at Teng Xiao for help. Mo Qingyun was a ruthless person. Fu Yuanhuang was not strong enough to deal with him. Oof. Seeing Fu Yuanhuang's actions, Mo Qingyun's expression turned cold. He coldly shouted, "Since you are so eager to learn, this prince will give you some pointers. I hope you won't disappoint this prince." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he raised his hand to grab Fu Yuanhuang, blasting out a terrifying wave of immortal spiritual power. "Get the hell over here." Mo Qingyun clenched his fist. The wave of immortal spiritual energy he released turned into a giant palm. Once the palm was formed, it captured Fu Yuanhuang with an unstoppable force. Then, Fu Yuanhuang panicked as he was captured in front of Mo Qingyun. "Kneel!" After capturing Fu Yuanhuang, Mo Qingyun grabbed him by the neck and slammed him to the ground. Under Mo Qingyun's attack, Fu Yuanhuang was pressed to the ground like a dead dog by Mo Qingyun. Bang! When Fu Yuanhuang's knees hit the ground, there was a loud explosion and a large crater was formed. When the crater was formed, the crisp sound of bones cracking could be heard from Fu Yuanhuang's knees. Fu Yuanhuang's legs were crippled. After pressing Fu Yuanhuang to the ground, Mo Qingyun looked at him mockingly. He said coldly, "Do you know what kind of punishment you will receive for sneaking up on me?" Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, Fu Yuanhuang trembled in fear. His face turned pale as he begged for mercy. "Prince Qingyun, I was wrong. Please forgive me." Seeing Fu Yuanhuang's actions, Mo Qingyun smirked. He looked at Teng Xiao and said, "Now I will teach you something. If you want to become a peerless powerhouse, you must have a brain. You won't live long if you are used as a tool." Chapter 1839. Under Mo Qingyun's palm, Fu Yuanhuang fainted. No one knew if he could survive. Seeing Mo Qingyun's action, the surrounding people trembled. They looked at Mo Qingyun in a different light. Mo Qingyun was too ruthless. Although Fu Yuanhuang's action was disrespectful, Mo Qingyun's action of crippling him was a little too ruthless. Everyone knew that Mo Qingyun's action was reasonable. It didn't matter even if he killed Fu Yuanhuang. Under the shocked gazes of the crowd, Mo Qingyun took out the demon punishment token and said loudly, "I suspect that Fu Yuanhuang of the Nether River bloodline is colluding with other clans. Men, take Fu Yuanhuang away. I will interrogate him personally later." "Yes, Prince Qingyun." Hearing Mo Qingyun's order, the surrounding guards immediately carried Fu Yuanhuang away. Seeing Fu Yuanhuang being carried away, the crowd's fear of Mo Qingyun intensified. Those who wanted to cause trouble for Mo Qingyun hesitated at this moment. They weighed the pros and cons in their hearts. If they caused trouble for Mo Qingyun and angered Mo Qingyun, would they be able to withstand Mo Qingyun's revenge? Mo Qingyun chose to ignore the crowd's thoughts. He turned to Teng Xiao and said with a smile, "Prince Teng Xiao, if you want to test my strength, sending a half-step 9-heaven Xian immortal won't do. If you do it personally, there might be a 10% chance." Teng Xiao only had a 10% chance? Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the surrounding people's expressions immediately became interesting. Anyone who understood could tell that Mo Qingyun was provoking Teng Xiao. Would Teng Xiao accept Mo Qingyun's challenge? At this moment, everyone looked at Teng Xiao curiously. They wanted to see how Teng Xiao would respond. Under the gazes of the crowd, Teng Xiao's expression tensed up, and his face looked a little ugly. If he accepted Mo Qingyun's challenge, he would feel like he had fallen into a trap. This made him feel very uneasy. However, If he rejected Mo Qingyun's challenge, it would seem that he was too cowardly. From the looks of it, Mo Qingyun's current actions had put him in a difficult position. Prince Qingyun, Prince Teng Xiao doesn't dare to accept the challenge. Why don't you let me exchange a few moves with you? While Teng Xiao was hesitating, a young man approached with a faint smile on his face. When the young man approached, he looked at Teng Xiao with disdain. If he wasn't mistaken, there should be some grudges between this young man and Teng Xiao. At that moment, seeing that Teng Xiao did not dare to accept the challenge, he wanted to use this opportunity to ruthlessly ridicule Teng Xiao. Unfortunately, the timing he chose was simply too bad. Mo Qingyun was challenging Teng Xiao. It could be said that he had shed all pretense of cordiality with Teng Xiao. However, he suddenly jumped out and ruined Mo Qingyun's plan, helping Teng Xiao out of this predicament. Since Prince Wang Yin wants to exchange pointers with Prince Qingyun, I can only fulfill your wish and give the opportunity to Prince Wang Yin. Seeing that Wang Yin suddenly stood out, Teng Xiao was first stunned, but then he smiled and retreated to the side. After Teng Xiao retreated to the side, he revealed a complacent sneer as he looked at Mo Qingyun and Teng Xiao mockingly. In his opinion, there couldn't be a better situation for Mo Qingyun and Wang Yin to fight. Mo Qingyun did not care about Teng Xiao's thoughts. He only looked at him meaningfully and said, Prince Teng Xiao, since Prince Wang Yin has taken the initiative to accept the challenge, I will fight with him first as a warm-up before a fight. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Teng Xiao's face immediately twitched and darkened. He hadn't expected that Mo Qingyun would actually pester him endlessly and insist on fighting him. He could no longer refuse Mo Qingyun's request. He could only brace himself and accept the challenge. If he continued to avoid the challenge, others would misunderstand that he, Teng Xiao, was afraid of Mo Qingyun. He would never allow such a thing to happen. All right, you can exchange pointers with Prince Wang Yin first. We will fight to our heart's content later. Seeing that he could not escape from the battle with Mo Qingyun, Teng Xiao readily agreed and replied to Mo Qingyun with a smile. As soon as Teng Xiao finished speaking, his expression tensed up and he looked at Mo Qingyun with a tense expression. In his opinion, it would be good for Wang Yin to fight with Mo Qingyun. He could take the opportunity to find out more about Mo Qingyun's strength. Although Wang Yin's reputation was not as great as Teng Xiao's in the Heavenly Soul Demon clan, he was still one of the 7 heavenly kings. In terms of strength, Wang Yin was not much weaker than him. It would not be easy for him to defeat Wang Yin. While Teng Xiao was cursing in his heart, the surrounding people were tense. They were looking forward to the battle between Mo Qingyun and Teng Xiao. It said that Wang Yin broke through to the 9 heavens Xian immortal realm a year earlier than Teng Xiao. Wang Yin has been the leader of the 7 heavenly kings ever since Teng Xiao broke through to the 9 heavens Xian immortal realm. It looks like Wang Yin wants to use Mo Qingyun to establish his dominance by fighting with Mo Qingyun. If nothing goes wrong, once Wang Yin defeats Mo Qingyun, he will challenge Teng Xiao. Although Mo Qingyun's cultivation is not high, he is very powerful. It will not be easy for Wang Yin to defeat him. Looking at the battle between Wang Yin and Mo Qingyun, the crowd whispered to each other and discussed the battle between Mo Qingyun and Teng Xiao. Under the gazes of the surrounding people, Wang Yin's expression was cold. He looked at Mo Qingyun and said, Mo Qingyun, you said that the battle between you and me was just a warm-up for the battle between you and Teng Xiao. Aren't you a little too arrogant? Whether I am arrogant or not, you will know after the battle. Mo Qingyun did not have a good impression of this guy, who ruined his plan. He did not want to give him any face. With Mo Qingyun's insight, he could naturally see that Wang Yin wanted to use him as a stepping stone to establish his dominance. Mo Qingyun would not let Wang Yin have his way. He did not want to show him any mercy during the battle. When he heard Mo Qingyun's arrogant words, Wang Yin's expression immediately turned ugly. He shouted, Humph! I don't mind telling you that the battle between you and me is just an appetizer for the battle between me and Teng Xiao. Don't think too highly of yourself. Are you done with your nonsense? When he heard Wang Yan's words, Mo Qingyun asked in an unhappy tone. It was rare for him to waste time with Wang Yan. When he heard Mo Qingyun's words, Wang Yan immediately gnashed his teeth in anger. He widened his eyes and glared at Mo Qingyun as he shouted, Mo Qingyun, you are too arrogant. I will now let you know that even if your talent is astonishing, with your current foundation, you will not be able to shake the position of one of the 7 great kings. After Wang Yan spoke, his figure flashed as he charged towards Mo Qingyun. Chapter 1840. Mad Demon Raging Flame Fist. Wang Yan arrived above Mo Qingyun. His face turned cold as he frantically waved his fists. Under Wang Yan's waving, surging flame spiritual energy burst out from his fists. The flame energy left Wang Yan's fists and turned into a sky full of fist shadows, bombarding towards Mo Qingyun. In an instant, a raging flame energy filled the entire garden. Under the illumination of the flame energy, the light in the garden turned red. Being attacked by the flame energy, the surrounding people quickly retreated to avoid the erosion of the flame energy. The 7 heavenly kings that everyone praises are only SOSO. Facing Wang Yan's powerful attack, Mo Qingyun was not afraid at all. His expression was indifferent as he mocked. As Mo Qingyun spoke, he blasted out a palm to the sky, full of flaming fist shadows. Mo Qingyun waved his palm, and a black smoke-like violent, immortal spiritual energy blasted out from his palm. The black smoke-like, immortal spiritual energy gathered and turned into a huge palm, emitting a monstrous demonic aura. Soon, the huge black palm was like a large net, enveloping the sky full of flaming fist shadows. Disperse. Mo Qingyun raised his hand and made a grasping motion, controlling the huge black palm in front of him to crush the sky full of flaming fist shadows. Under Mo Qingyun's control, the crowd saw the huge black palm slowly clench into a fist. As the huge black palm clenched into a fist, the flaming fist shadows that were enveloped by it were crushed one after another. Bang, bang, bang. Following the explosion of the flaming fist shadows, waves of astonishing loud noises were emitted from the huge black palm. In a short moment, Wang Yan's full-force attack was easily neutralized by Mo Qingyun. After blocking Wang Yan's attack, Mo Qingyun was not in a hurry to attack Wang Yan. He slowly put his hand behind his back and said, "It seems that the so-called 7 heavenly kings are not that strong." You. Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Wang Yan immediately became angry and his expression turned cold. Mo Qingyun's words were too arrogant. It was a completely condescending attitude. After hearing Mo Qingyun's words, not only was Wang Yan furious, the other heavenly kings were also enraged. From their point of view, when Mo Qingyun was mocking Wang Yan, he was also mocking them. Mo Qingyun, what do you mean by that? Are you trying to provoke us 7 heavenly kings? Although I, Sun Chong, am not as strong as Wang Yan, I still want to compete with you. No matter how high your talent is, I don't believe that the combined strength of the 7 of us can't deal with you. For a time, apart from Tung Xiao, the other 6 heavenly kings were furious. Mo Qingyun directly chose to disregard the rage of Sun Chong and the others. And then he turned around to look at Tung Xiao and said, "Prince Tung Xiao, the other 6 heavenly kings are about to make a move. Do you intend to continue watching?" Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Tung Xiao's expression immediately stiffened and his face darkened. He did not expect Mo Qingyun to make such a move and force him to make a move again. More importantly, as the 7 heavenly kings, they had to join forces to deal with Mo Qingyun. Even if the 7 of them won, it would not be something to be proud of. After all, the cultivation levels of the 7 of them were a major realm higher than Mo Qingyun's. However, if they lost, it would be a great humiliation, and it would become a lifelong humiliation. More importantly, From Mo Qingyun's earlier attack, he already had a rough understanding of Mo Qingyun's strength. Even if the 7 of them joined forces, they might not be a match for Mo Qingyun. Most importantly, he was still a little unsure if Mo Qingyun had held back just now. If Mo Qingyun had held back earlier, the situation would be even worse for them. Prince Ting Xiao, I'm challenging the 7 of you alone. Do you still not dare to fight? Seeing that Teng Xiao was silent, Mo Qingyun's lips curled up slightly as he tried to provoke Teng Xiao. Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Teng Xiao's face turned even uglier. He knew that he had no choice but to accept Mo Qingyun's challenge. In the face of Mo Qingyun's provocation, if he still did not accept the challenge, he would be too ashamed to face anyone. Since Prince Qingyun has kindly invited me to fight, I, Teng Xiao, have no reason to refuse. Teng Xiao pretended to smile generously and said forthrightly. He walked to the side of Wang Yin and the others and said, Prince Qingyun, it's good that you are confident in your own strength. However, swords have no eyes during the fight. What if we accidentally hurt you? What do you think we should do? When Teng Xiao said this, a trace of ruthlessness flashed across his eyes. Upon hearing Teng Xiao's words, the eyes of Wang Yin and the others lit up as they understood Teng Xiao's meaning. Teng Xiao was reminding them that the fight with Mo Qingyun later would be a good opportunity to eliminate Mo Qingyun. Upon understanding Teng Xiao's hidden meaning, the expressions on Wang Yin and the others' faces turned cold. Seeing the change in Wang Yin and the others' expressions, Mo Qingyun's lips curled up slightly. He immediately guessed what they were thinking. Mo Qingyun did not care about what Teng Xiao and the others were thinking. He looked at Teng Xiao with a faint smile and said, Prince Teng Xiao, do your best. Since it's a fight, you have to give it your all. Otherwise, it'll be like playing house. Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Teng Xiao and the others exchanged glances as a sinister smile surfaced on their faces. From their expressions, it seemed like their evil plan had succeeded. The space here is too small. I'm afraid it's not suitable for us to fight. Let's find another place. Mo Qingyun looked around and turned his head to Teng Xiao and the others as he suggested this to them. Teng Xiao and the others nodded when they heard Mo Qingyun's words. They walked towards the inner part of the garden and said, Ancestors, we've already expected that there would be some juniors fighting in the Tianhun gathering. Therefore, we've set up a fighting stage here. Let's fight on the fighting stage. Upon hearing Teng Xiao and the others' words, Mo Qingyun followed behind them and walked towards the fighting stage. Seeing Mo Qingyun and the others walk towards the fighting stage, the people who were watching the show quickly followed. Qingyun, Teng Xiao, and the others are not simple. You have to be careful later. On the way to the fighting stage, the Burning Sword Divine Craftsman's expression was tense as he reminded Mo Qingyun. Hearing this, Man Yin and Bai Yu smiled knowingly. They quickly comforted the Burning Sword Divine Craftsman. Master, you don't have to worry about Junior Brother. He's powerful enough to take care of those guys. Oh, hearing what Man Yin and Bai Yu said, the Burning Sword Divine Craftsman's expression changed. He immediately became curious. From Man Yin and Bai Yu's expressions, they seemed to have great confidence in Mo Qingyun's strength. Chapter 1841. Not long after, Mo Qingyun arrived at a huge platform under the guidance of Teng Xiao and the others. Outside the high platform, there was a very ancient formation that emitted a powerful array force. What a powerful array! It's at least level 9. Seeing the array in front of him, Mo Qingyun was shocked and his eyes were filled with curiosity. The ancient array in front of him could be considered the highest great array he had ever seen. Stop pretending. I don't believe that you can understand such an ancient array. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, Wang Yin, who was not far away, showed disdain and said disdainfully. Following Wang Yan's words, Bai Hua showed an impatient expression and urged, if you want to study the array, do it after the battle with us. Don't waste your time here. After Bai Hua and the others finished speaking, he did not hesitate and immediately flew towards the platform. Soon, Tung Xiao and the others arrived on the platform and sneered at Mo Qingyun. Seeing that Tung Xiao and the others had arrived on the platform, Mo Qingyun did not waste any time and flew onto the platform. Set up the array. Seeing Mo Qingyun arrive on the platform, Tung Xiao and the others exchanged glances and immediately formed a combined attack array. A combined attack array was not something that could be completed in a day. Tung Xiao and the others were proficient in using the combined attack array. It seemed that under some special circumstances, the 7 of them had once cultivated together. Of course, they definitely did not cultivate the combined attack array together to deal with Mo Qingyun. With their arrogance, they would not specially cultivate the combined attack array together just for Mo Qingyun. The current situation was probably just a coincidence. Combined attack array? Seeing the actions of Tung Xiao and the others, Mo Qingyun was slightly stunned. He was very surprised by this scene. After a brief moment of surprise, a brilliant smile appeared on Mo Qingyun's face. He said, "I was originally worried that all of you were too weak and that I wouldn't be able to fight you with my full strength. Now that I've seen all of you execute a joint formation, I don't have to think about holding back anymore. Mo Qingyun, don't be too arrogant. Otherwise, you will lose too badly later. Mo Qingyun, although you are talented, you are too arrogant. You will definitely suffer because of this. Prince Qingyun, since you have said so, we will not show you any mercy. I only hope that if you're injured later, you won't say that we are bullying you with numbers." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Tung Xiao and the others had different expressions and attitudes. Hearing the words of Tung Xiao and the others, the corners of Mo Qingyun's mouth curled up slightly. He smiled faintly and said, "There's no need for superfluous words. Emperor Seal, murderous spirit eye." After Mo Qingyun's words, a gray light flashed in his left eye and a fierce soul power was released. The soul power shot out from Mo Qingyun's left eye and turned into a strange imprint that instantly blasted into Bai Hua's mind. After being hit by Mo Qingyun's soul power, Bai Hua immediately screamed and her face turned pale. Soon after, Bai Hua was stunned. She hugged her head and screamed continuously. Her actions were no longer the same as Tung Xiao and the others. Following this, the power of Tung Xiao and the others' combined attack array was greatly reduced. Seeing this scene, Mo Qingyun grinned and said, "Your combined attack array doesn't seem to be very skillful. Do you want to go back and practice it for a while?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Tung Xiao and the others' faces darkened, as if they had been greatly humiliated. Seeing Tung Xiao and the others' reactions, the smile on Mo Qingyun's face became even wider, and he directly rushed towards Bai Hua. Mo Qingyun's plan was very simple. First, he would cripple one of them, so that Tung Xiao and the others could not form the combined attack array. "Be careful. Mo Qingyun wants to deal with Bai Hua and break our combined attack array." Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, Tung Xiao's expression immediately changed. He guessed Mo Qingyun's plan and shouted, "Everyone, quickly protect Bai Hua. Don't let Mo Qingyun attack her." Although the 7 heavenly kings usually fought with each other openly and secretly, at this moment, they were unusually united. Hearing Tung Xiao's words, the few of them immediately surrounded Bai Hua and protected her in the middle. Their actions are quite consistent. Seeing Tung Xiao and the others' actions, Mo Qingyun curled his lips and smiled faintly as he muttered to himself. After Mo Qingyun's words, he no longer attacked Bai Hua and quickly changed his attack method. Bloodline oppression. Mo Qingyun clenched his fists tightly and lowered his arms slightly as he roared towards the sky. Under Mo Qingyun's angry roar, a terrifying bloodline power exploded from his body. When this bloodline power exploded, it turned into a huge blood mist that instantly filled the entire high platform. Under Mo Qingyun's bloodline oppression, Wang Ming, who had the weakest bloodline talent, immediately vomited blood. As for Teng Xiao and the others, although they did not suffer the same fate as Wang Ming, their situation was not optimistic either. Under Mo Qingyun's bloodline oppression, the circulation of blood in their bodies was greatly suppressed. How can this guy's bloodline talent be so strong? My bloodline is already at the king level. How can there be such a huge gap between us? Could it be that his bloodline has already reached the ancestor level? Under Mo Qingyun's bloodline oppression, Teng Xiao and the others were shocked and were even more fearful of Mo Qingyun. All this while, in their hearts, Mo Qingyun was only slightly more talented than the rest. In their eyes, they did not treat Mo Qingyun as an opponent. They did not expect that in today's battle with Mo Qingyun, they would be suppressed by Mo Qingyun. This huge contrast made them feel very sullen in their hearts, especially Teng Xiao, who had a grudge against Mo Qingyun. When he saw Mo Qingyun's battle strength, he felt as if his chest had been hit by a sledgehammer. This damn brat! How can he grow so fast? Thinking of Mo Qingyun's speed of growth, Teng Xiao's heart palpitated. He was both angry and panicked as he thought to himself, in just a short year, he has grown to a level that I can only look up to. The more Teng Xiao thought about it, the more fearful he was. His killing intent towards Mo Qingyun grew stronger and stronger. Fortunately, he did not hide his killing intent. With the grudge between him and Mo Qingyun, if he did not get rid of Mo Qingyun, the person who would die in the future would definitely be him. Thank you, everyone. I'm fine now. While everyone was still shocked by Mo Qingyun's bloodline talent, Bai Hua had neutralized Mo Qingyun's soul attack and thanked Teng Xiao and the others. Seeing that Bai Hua had blocked Mo Qingyun's attack, Teng Xiao and the others relaxed and immediately distanced themselves from Bai Hua. Soon, Teng Xiao and the others formed a sword formation again and surrounded Mo Qingyun. Good timing. Seeing Teng Xiao and the others attacking together, Mo Qingyun did not panic at all. He looked at Teng Xiao and the others with an indifferent expression. At this moment, a strong fighting intent emanated from Mo Qingyun's body. Chapter 1842. Formation Rise. When Mo Qingyun rushed towards Teng Xiao and the others, he raised his arm and waved it quickly in front of him. As Mo Qingyun waved his arm, rays of light flashed and formation runes slowly appeared in the void. When these formation runes appeared, they emitted a shocking formation power and formed an exquisite formation. Seeing Mo Qingyun's action, the surrounding people were shocked and their eyes widened. Formation. Prince Qingyun is proficient in formations? I only heard that he's good at refining pills, but I didn't expect him to be good at formations as well. His talent is too terrifying. Of course, if Prince Qingyun isn't good at formations, how could he study refining weapons? I almost forgot. Prince Qingyun is the disciple of the Burning Sword Divine Craftsman. Is he going to become a divine craftsman in the future? Compared to Prince Qingyun, the talent of the 7 heavenly kings is not worth mentioning. Seeing Mo Qingyun's attainments in formations, everyone's impression of Teng Xiao and the others changed drastically. Compared to Mo Qingyun's talent, Teng Xiao and the others' actions were like frogs in a well. Formation? It's at least a level 5 formation. I didn't expect Qingyun to be proficient in formations. Seeing Mo Qingyun's formation, the Burning Sword Divine Craftsman was shocked and immediately felt gratified. He didn't expect his disciple's talent to be stronger than he had imagined. It wasn't as simple as it seemed. More importantly, Mo Qingyun had an amazing talent in formations, so it was even more suitable for him to learn refining weapons. Teng Xiao and the others wanted to use a joint formation to deal with Junior Brother, but they didn't expect Junior Brother to be proficient in formations. They're all dumbfounded now. Seeing Mo Qingyun's current performance, Man Yan's pretty face immediately lit up with joy. Her expression became excited as she said, "Little Junior Brother is now using a formation to counterattack. It could be considered giving him a taste of his own medicine. If Teng Xiao and the others fall into the formation, their joint formation will collapse. Junior Brother's move is really powerful. Looking at the formation that was quickly forming, Bai Yu guessed Mo Qingyun's thoughts and felt a strong sense of admiration for Mo Qingyun. Although he was also proficient in setting up formations, it was impossible for him to set up a temporary formation like Mo Qingyun's to resist an enemy who was about to attack. Most importantly, if he were to face such a situation, he wouldn't dare to set up a formation to counterattack. Under everyone's gazes, Teng Xiao's group arrived in front of Mo Qingyun, each of them wearing a panicked expression. Everyone, be careful. Don't barge into Mo Qingyun's formation. There's no need to panic. It's only a level 5 formation. I can break it with a wave of my hand. Don't be careless. Mo Qingyun didn't set up these formations to trap me. That's right. Mo Qingyun set up these low-level formations to prevent us from using the joint attack formation. Looking at the formation that Mo Qingyun had set up, Teng Xiao's group communicated with each other and immediately understood Mo Qingyun's intentions. After understanding Mo Qingyun's intentions, Teng Xiao's group naturally wouldn't be fooled. They immediately avoided the formation that Mo Qingyun had set up. It's useless for you to avoid the formation. Seeing Teng Xiao's group's actions, Mo Qingyun's lips curled up slightly. He immediately charged towards Bai Hua. Bai Hua's strength was the weakest. Furthermore, she had just been attacked by the Emperor's seal-kill spiritual eye. She was the easiest to deal with among them. Mo Qingyun knew the principle of picking the soft persimmon to pinch. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed and appeared in front of Bai Hua. He blasted a palm towards her. Heavenly Demon Star, splitting palm. Mo Qingyun's palm was immediately surrounded by a black fog and emitted a strong demonic aura. Soon, a huge black fog figure enveloped Mo Qingyun. The moment the black fog figure appeared, it blasted a huge black palm shadow towards Bai Hua. Mo Qingyun wants to injure Bai Hua and destroy our joint attack formation. Don't let him succeed. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, Teng Xiao's expression was shocked. He immediately reminded everyone. Hearing Teng Xiao's words, Wang Yin and the rest tensed up. They quickly blocked the palm shadow for Bai Hua. Seeing Wang Yin and the rest helping her, Bai Hua's expression turned for the better. She also felt relieved. If Teng Xiao and the rest didn't help her, she wouldn't be able to block Mo Qingyun's attack with her own strength. Mo Qingyun didn't care about Teng Xiao and the rest's actions. His gaze landed on Sun Chong. Heavenly Sun, star-piercing eyes. A red light flashed in Mo Qingyun's right eye, and a red light shot out. In the blink of an eye, it was in front of Sun Chong. Seeing the red light shooting towards him, Sun Chong's face turned pale. He immediately turned his head to dodge the attack. However, the speed of the red light was too fast. Even though he had already dodged, he was still hit by the red light. Fortunately, his dodging speed was fast enough, and he managed to avoid being hit by the red light. Pucci, Sun Chong couldn't dodge in time, and his left ear was hit by the red light. Under the domineering attack of the red light, Sun Chong's left ear was blasted into pieces, following which fresh blood flowed down from Sun Chong's ear and dyed his clothes red. Ah, my ear. After his ear was blasted off by Mo Qingyun, Sun Chong immediately screamed in pain. His face was filled with pain. Seeing Sun Chong's miserable state, Teng Xiao and the rest trembled. They were all relieved. Luckily, Mo Qingyun didn't attack them. Otherwise, they would be in the same state as Sun Chong. They didn't have the confidence that they could dodge Mo Qingyun's red light in time. Seeing Sun Chong's fate, everyone's fear of Mo Qingyun became even stronger. It's a pity that you only lost an ear. Seeing that he didn't manage to kill Sun Chong in one hit, Mo Qingyun revealed a disappointed expression. He looked at Bai Hua again and laughed. They can protect you once, but I don't believe that they can protect you forever. After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, his body moved and he charged towards Bai Hua again. After the previous lesson, everyone was no longer as enthusiastic about protecting Bai Hua when they saw Mo Qingyun attacking her. They were all afraid that Mo Qingyun would use the pretense of attacking Bai Hua as an excuse to attack them again. Protecting Bai Hua from being attacked was important. However, compared to their own lives, it was insignificant. You want to use the same trick twice? We won't fall for it. That's right. You want to use a diversion to attack us? Do you think we're fools? Bai Hua, don't worry. His target isn't you. Teng Xiao and the rest were prepared. They revealed mocking expressions and mocked Mo Qingyun. Seeing the actions of Teng Xiao and the others, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and shook his head. He directly charged towards Bai Hua and said, "A group of people who measure the heart of a gentleman with the yardstick of a villain. How can you guess my thoughts?" Seeing Mo Qingyun's current appearance, the burning sword divine craftsman's expression was shocked, and he could not help but take a few steps forward. From what he knew, Mo Qingyun's current appearance was completely the form of the primordial demon god. What a domineering divine ability. This is the first time Junior Brother has used such a divine ability. Seeing the change in Mo Qingyun's appearance, Man Yan's face tensed up, and a look of anticipation appeared on her face. She wanted to know how powerful the divine ability Mo Qingyun used this time would be. When Bai Yu and the others saw Mo Qingyun's performance, their reactions were similar to Man Yan's. What divine ability is this? Is this also a bloodline divine ability? I don't think so. From what I know, our clan doesn't have such a bloodline divine ability. I didn't expect Prince Qingyun to not use his full strength in the battle just now. Looks like there is no suspense in the outcome of this battle. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, some of the surrounding onlookers couldn't help but have such thoughts. Not only did the onlookers have such thoughts, but even Teng Xiao and the others on the battle stage had such thoughts. Putting aside Mo Qingyun's strength, just based on Mo Qingyun's current appearance, they had the urge to worship him. In that case, how are they going to fight Mo Qingyun? What kind of monster is this kid? How can he be so powerful? Do you think this kid is the reincarnation of the demon god? Otherwise, how can he be so terrifying? It's not impossible. It seems like this is the only reasonable explanation for all of this. Everyone, don't let your imagination run wild. He only mastered a powerful divine ability. It's not as incredible as you think. Looking at Mo Qingyun, Teng Xiao and the others had different thoughts, and they voiced their own thoughts one after another. While Teng Xiao and the others were talking, their expressions tensed up, and they slowly dispersed. Since you all don't dare to make a move, I'll take the initiative. Seeing Teng Xiao and the others looking at each other, Mo Qingyun grinned and took the initiative to attack the injured Sun Chong. Seeing Mo Qingyun coming for him, Sun Chong's expression immediately trembled. Thinking of Bai Hua's fate, he panicked and said, "Mo Qingyun is coming for me. Quickly come and help me block him." Hearing Sun Chong's panic cry for help, Teng Xiao and the others despised him, but they still attacked Mo Qingyun together. Soon, saber lights, sword lights, and spear shadows whistled towards Mo Qingyun. Facing the attacks of Teng Xiao and the others, Mo Qingyun didn't even try to dodge. He directly punched the saber, spear, and sword shadows. Saint Demon's star shattering fist. Under Mo Qingyun's punch, a terrifying black immortal spiritual energy gathered on his fist. Chapter 1844. Stop right there. As soon as the black figure appeared, he lifted his hand and pointed forward. A dazzling silver radiance blossomed from his fingertip. The silver radiance turned into a light shield and instantly enveloped Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun's body was covered. He immediately revealed a shocked expression. He looked at the black figure with a tense expression. How powerful! This person is a Saint Plane cultivator. I didn't expect that there would be a Saint Plane cultivator in the Tang family. This discovery shocked Mo Qingyun. It would be difficult for him to deal with Tang Xiao if there was a Saint Stage expert in the Tang branch. While Mo Qingyun was still in shock, the black figure's expression darkened slightly. He looked coldly at Mo Qingyun and said, "Little fellow, sparring between members of the same clan should be a way to learn from each other. It's not a good habit for you to have killing intent because of this." Junior Tang Xiao greets Saint Ancestor Tang Chai. Tang Xiao looked respectful when he saw the black figure appear. He hurriedly bowed to the black figure and said, "Saint Ancestor, you don't know. After this little fellow came to the main clan, he repeatedly injured the juniors of the clan. I found his identity suspicious, so he wanted to kill me." "Shut up. I know what's right and what's wrong." Without waiting for Tang Xiao to finish his words, Tang Chai coldly shouted at him, interrupting his words. When Tang Chai reprimanded Tang Xiao, his eyes were filled with disappointment and disgust when he looked at Tang Xiao. In his opinion, Tang Xiao had asked him to step in and save him because of a small clan competition. This kind of action was really too incompetent. Tang Chai looked at Mo Qingyun again after she finished speaking. She couldn't help but frown and said in surprise, "Hey, little fellow, I feel a sense of familiarity from you. I'm a little curious about you." Mo Qingyun's expression immediately tensed up when he heard Tang Chai's words. He felt as though he was being targeted by a poisonous snake. He was certain that Tang Chai's interest in him wasn't a good thing. He had a lot of secrets on him. It was troublesome to be targeted by a Saint Realm expert. Seeing Mo Qingyun's tense expression, Tang Chai smiled meaningfully and said, "Little guy, your heart is too guarded. This is not a good habit. When we meet again in a few days, this old man will give you some pointers." As soon as he heard Tang Chai's words, Mo Qingyun's heart skipped a beat. That feeling of uneasiness became even more intense. Tang Chai's cultivation was at the Sage Realm, so his secret might be exposed if she were to examine him carefully. When Mo Qingyun thought of this, his mood became even heavier. He was thinking about how to deal with Tang Chai. Seeing the change in Mo Qingyun's expression, the sneer on Tang Chai's face deepened. "Don't be afraid. This sacred ancestor is quite easygoing." He said in a low voice, "Qingyun, I just received news that the outer world immortal prison has been opened. The primordial demons imprisoned there have all escaped. The wild continent might become unstable in the future. You have to be careful of the demons." "Yes, I got it." When he heard Tinshu's warning, Mo Qingyun immediately nodded. He silently raised his guard. When Mo Qingyun raised his guard, he had a thought. Should he go and find the War Martyrs? The War Martyrs were Qian Linglong Sr. If he found the War Martyrs, he should be able to help Qian Linglong recover from her injuries. When Mo Qingyun was thinking, Tinshu's expression became even more serious. A light flashed in his eyes. He said, "Qingyun, if I'm not wrong, the Gate of Creation should be with you, right?" "Gate of Creation?" When he heard Tinshu's words, Mo Qingyun's heart thumped. His expression immediately became serious. After being chased by King Devourer, he had a rough understanding of the origin of the Light Gate martial soul. However, he didn't know that Tinshu had already seen through his possession of the Gate of Creation. Judging from your reaction, this old man should have guessed correctly. When he saw Mo Qingyun's reaction, Tinshu nodded in understanding. He said in a low voice, "If I'm not wrong, Tang Chai must have discovered the Gate of Creation when he saw you. Given Tang Chai's character, he will definitely find a way to obtain the Gate of Creation. You have to be careful of his schemes."